Jinkies, what a mystery! Hey, Wolfpack, we're back with another surprise tier list. Once again, it's Friday, and we're talking about Scooby-Doo. Alright, making sure everything works. Looks like it does. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, making sure everything's on and operational. Looks like we're ready to go. We talked about the first great Scooby-Doo girl. Now we're talking about the other great Scooby-Doo waifu, Velma Dinkley. Because we're going to be ranking all the Velmas. The good, the bad, and the Mindy Kaling. Got all of the Velmas on here, at least all the high-profile ones. Got some interesting voice actresses behind our favorite smart girl. And we're going to be ranking them all from top best to bottom worst. Jinkies. Hey, Shadow Link, it looks like you're the first one on here. Make sure live chat stays open. Alright, yeah. Looks like you're our first. Talking about Velma this time. We talked about Daphne. Now we're talking about the other mystery girl. Gonna talk about all of the Mystery Incorporated team eventually, but we're doing this because I thought it'd be fun. Talking about all our favorite and least favorite Velmas over who's top best to bottom worst. Now, let me go over the rules if this is your first tier list ever. I'll be talking about, explaining, and judging each and every one of our favorite mystery detective over who's good, bad, and Mindy Kaling. Talking about them on this here tier list, ranking them one by one over who's a star detective to who's lesser Velma. Now, I do have their own categories once again because we love our Scooby-Doo characters. Up top, we have Star Detective. These ones are S tier, the greatest Velmas ever, the 10 out of 10s, the all-star detectives, if you will. Love these Velmas, love everything about them, the fans love them, I love them. They are a dang good Velma, and they go up top. Underneath, we have Ace Detective. These ones are good, not great, not what I would say is a top tier Velma. Well, top tier being S tier, but yeah, these ones, they did their job. They were definitely golden. They did a decent interpretation of Velma. Liked them, might have a few things missing to put them into S tier, but I will still say they are an ace detective. Right smack in the middle, we have B Student. These ones are fine. They're average. They're alright. They're passable. They're decent. These Velmas came in, did an okay job, and you kind of forgot about them. Not what I would say the greatest Velma ever, but definitely a decent one. Had an equal amount of good and bad to them. They are a B Student. Then underneath that, we have Velma Who? This one is self-explanatory. These are the Velmas I don't know. Don't know anything about them, never watched their show, their movie, their video game, or comic book as we have one on here. I do not have any intel on these Velmas and have no opinion on them. They're going on the unknown category. But underneath that, we have Dud Dinkley. These ones are lame. They're the bronze skulls. They're below average. Definitely had a speck of hope there. Could have been a good Velma, but ended up really disappointing. Not at all a good interpretation of our favorite detective. They are a Dud Dinkley. And at rock bottom, appropriately, we have Mindy Failing. Yes, I'm so clever. F tier, 0 out of 10s, total losers. These ones are the worst Velmas ever. I hate them, the fans hate them, we all hate them. And I think you know exactly who's going down here, but for the sake of this list, we'll pretend to act surprised. Doing Velma after Daphne, I see. Yeah, I figured why not. It was kind of an idea I had in between. I was contemplating, should I do Velma or Shaggy? Because it's still March, it's still green season. Shaggy felt like we could have done him, but I decided, you know what, let's do Velma, because everybody likes Velma, and I can't wait to hear what everyone has to say about a certain interpretation of Velma on this tier list. But yeah, we decided to go with the other mystery girl. Why not? Let's do both ladies now. Then we'll get to the guys afterwards. Don't worry, eventually every Scooby Gang member will be on a tier list, but for now, it's Velma's turn. My favorite Velma is the original from Where Are You? A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo, and Zombie Island. Yeah, BJ Ward, underrated Velma. Mindy Cohen Velma over Mindy Kaling Velma. We all know HBO has the best Velma. Hey, Shadow, you made it. And once again, you have the wrong opinion. Yeah, so Velma is actually a pretty good character. We all know Velma, we like her. For the most part. Velma has had a lot of bad interpretations, but had an equal amount of good interpretations. Velma actually started out as a fan favorite. Over the course of the saga slash franchise, she has had a lot of voice actors. Even the original Velma had like 3 to 4 different ladies doing her voice. Some good, some not so good. I do not like the scrappy era Velma voice. She sounds so wooden and plain to me. Doesn't have that spark that the first 2 had. Velma has had, honestly, some very good interpretations. I know we all love BJ Ward and Linda Cardellini. However, they tried to make Velma into the sassy one. She was originally supposed to be a tomboy, but became the nerd. She's the smart one. She's the one who does all the harder detective work, all the close analyzing, the science stuff, the tech stuff. Velma is the smart girl on her team, and pretty much the ace detective of them all. Though Fred, Daphne, and even Shaggy do have their moments of intelligence, Velma is basically the hard worker of them all. Velma is actually very friendly in the original version. Velma is kind of the tomboy to Daphne's girly girl. She has a lot more bravery, a lot more of a spine, isn't afraid to speak her mind. Then, over the years, she kind of got reinterpreted. They tried to make Velma kind of into a knockoff Daria. Yeah, does anybody in my audience know that show, Daria? Yeah, I would definitely describe her as kind of a knockoff Daria. She became a lot more cynical, a lot more snarky, a lot more out there as a character, not afraid to speak her mind or call out the stupidity of others. Even her own friends were not immune to this. Yeah, Linda Cardellini and Mindy Kahn's Velma kind of embraced that Daria personality change she got. Though, Kate Micucci tried to bring it back to the original personality where Velma was a lot more spunky and out there. Unfortunately, Velma has kind of gone through the ringer as of lately and has had a terrible reboot show, which kind of murdered the character's great reputation. But here's hoping the Japanese show finally fixes her. Anyways, Velma is actually a fan favorite character. A lot of people love her. She had a bit more personality than Daphne did originally. Of course, years of Scooby-Doo stories has changed that significantly, and all the Scooby Gang now feel like deep, well-rounded characters. Velma is a character I do like, though. If you ask younger me, I do prefer Scooby and Shaggy because they were just funnier. That's really it. They were the stars of the show. They were funny, they were entertaining, they always got chased by the ghosts. Definitely a big reason why kids loved them more, because they got into the wackiness. But Velma is pretty cool, and I do respect her great detective capabilities. Hey, I've seen the first season of HBO's Velma. What'd you think, Shadow? Personally, I thought it was worse than MCU She-Hulk, but that's just me. And a million other people. I haven't watched Daria, but I heard it's really good, but in my opinion, Daria is better than the horrible Velma in the Velma show. That's kind of what Kaling's show tried to be Scooby-Doo mixed with Daria's style, and it did not work. Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, it did not work. There's a reason why Velma has become one of the most hated shows of this entire decade. But yeah, we'll see if it will be outclassed. But I think you all know how Mindy will land. So, got a lot of good Velmas on here, got some I don't recognize, got a few, some are voiced by the same same voice actress. Yeah, some are played by the same voice actress. There's 2 Linda Cardellini's on here, but yeah, we'll go over them, each fairly, judge them all. Some I will count as one interpretation for an entire era of Scooby-Doo films, like the What's New Scooby-Doo Velma will be counted for all the What's New era films from the 2000s. Well, Mystery Incorporated had their own era of Scooby-Doo films. She's on here, though, so we'll count her as her own, because she was kind of different from the grand story arc of Mystery Incorporated. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Got a lot of Velmas, good, bad, and the Mindy. We're gonna be talking about them all, so let's finally begin. HBO Velma is the greatest show ever made. The shills have appeared. I love how it shits on the beloved franchise and made everyone unbearable. Except for Scrappy Doo. Velma was so bad it made Scrappy the hero. And yeah, if you guys don't know, Scrappy was the hero of the show because he killed Mindy Kaling. That dog has redeemed himself, but yeah, Velma's a cool character. We all know the bit, she lost her glasses, can't see them, gets into wacky trouble. She analyzes the clues, does the lab stuff, and occasionally she's the one who unmasks the felons, unmasks who the ghost is, and does her Sherlock explanation of how they got here and what the crime really was. I never made it to season 2. Don't worry, Shadow, you and a lot of other people didn't. Hey, how are you? Hey, Saga, glad you could make it. Haven't started yet. Only a few Velmas on here, but hopefully this turns into another short tier list. Alright, so, talk about Velma, you all know the character, we all love her, and there are some versions we don't. So let's finally begin this tier list talking about where it all began with the original Velma, who is going on to Star Detective. Yeah, is there really any doubt? The OG Scooby cast are all pretty much S tier, really love them. Velma actually underwent the most voice actor changes. The girl voice actors swapped out frequently in the original era. Velma was voiced by like 3 to 4 different ladies. There was the one in Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Then in the Scooby-Doo show, they traded up for a different woman. I like the second one the most, and unfortunately, the last Velma voice actress we got I thought was terrible. The one that came in the Scrappy-Doo era. Yeah, Velma pretty much got a new voice actress in the Scrappy era, and she is easily the worst. Cartoon Network's been rerunning the Scrappy shows, and boy, I honestly hate her more than Kate Michucci. She was really bland, really wooden, and sounded nothing like the previous 2 Velmas we had, but she's still gone on to S tier because she's part of the golden era of Scooby-Doo. Really like this Velma. She has a lot of funny moments. Velma did kind of snark at her friends a few times, did call out Scooby-Doo when he was pretending to be sick or something to weasel out of being the bait or exploring spooky areas. She was implied to be shipped with Shaggy. We do see that they did become just friends by the end, but yeah, this is a classic Velma. This is pretty much the iconic interpretation of her. Velma is a tomboy, she's not afraid, she's kind of fearless, loses her glasses a number of times. Occasionally Velma does go with Shaggy and Scooby when they split up in their usual mystery escapades. I do really like her. She's a very simple character, but that's all the human characters in Scooby-Doo. Even Shaggy was kind of basically standard. They all have their cliques, their high school stereotypes. Velma was definitely a funny character, though. Love that she kicked the creeper. You wouldn't hit somebody with glasses, would you? And the creeper, like, swats her glasses off and she kicks him in the shin. Classic Scooby-Doo. Such golden material. In here, cat, my phone was occupied due to roommate stupidity. That's okay, John Smith, that's okay. Let's trash on the HBO Velma. Alright, we'll do her next. My visor, I can't see without my visor. Yeah, I'm using my Catwoman avatar. Sorry, that's one we kind of programmed into our streaming stuff. Might change it, but the original cat has some issues transferring over to this software. But okay, yeah, you get the idea. Classic Velma is a classic, really like her. She will be outclassed by a few other interpretations of Miss Dinkley, because of course she will, but definitely still gold standard, putting her on Star Detective. Unfortunately, the new voice actress kind of costed her points. The Scrappy-Doo era Velma, just like listen to like a few clips of her, she sounds really off. It was like her first time being a voice actress, I swear. Velma going after Sam in the Supernatural episode will never not be funny. Technically that was Kate Michucci Velma, but it was set in the Phantom Shadow episode. The hilarious part I won't forget in Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is the iconic chase theme. Oh yeah, those chase musics were always funny. Love their animations too. Alright, so you get the idea. Classic Velma is a Star Detective. Alright, people want Mindy Kaling, but I want to knock off another Velma first before getting to her. I think we'll knock off... Alright, let's do... the comic Velma. This one is going on our first, Velma Who. I have never read a Scooby-Doo comic book before in my 9 lives, so I have no familiarity with this character. I have heard of these Scooby-Doo comics, seen other people comment on it. Velma is kind of Oracle in this, you can tell by her computer and high tech, so This one tried to remake the Scooby Gang as like DC superheroes and give them all great hero origin stories. How the Scooby Gang became the badass heroes we know and love, and it is kind of trippy hearing about this. I know Scooby-Doo was like a government experiment gone wrong. Scooby-Doo was supposed to be a super soldier, which explains why he's a talking dog. Velma became a high-tech whiz, and she became Oracle. She's like hacking like police computers to find unsolved mysteries so she and her friends can solve it. It's a very weird sounding comic book. Unfortunately, I never read it, so she's gonna have to go on to Velma Who. I have Scooby comics. Oh, then Shadow, have you heard of this one? The one where Scooby-Doo's an escaped government experiment to create a super soldier dog, and that's why he can talk and hear people. Kind of trippy. Yeah, she's going on her first Velma Who. Speaking of which, I'm also going to knock off the Muppet Velma. I have not seen this special. I want to, but just haven't had the time. There's a Scooby-Doo special where the gang become Muppets. There's like puppet versions of Scooby and the gang solving mysteries, and this is the Velma puppet. Honestly looking a bit more like Edna Mode, kind of, mixed with her pup named Scooby-Doo look. Kind of weird design, especially because the other gang members looked much, much better, but have not seen this special. I know a lot of people have requested me to watch everything Scooby-Doo, but this is one I have honestly missed. Going on to Velma Who. I have them, but only read like one comic. I'll post the book in the group chat. Okay, thank you, Shadow. They did something like that with the Flintstones, Pink Panther, Archie, Jensen, and the Wacky Races. I love the Wacky Races. We need the Laugh Olympics to come back. Okay, Muppet Velma, going on to Velma Who. Alright, next, who should we bump off? I know you all want the terrible one out of the way. I want to do one more positive one. Let's do Scooby-Dooby, Scooby-Dooby, a pup named Scooby-Doo. Velma from elementary school, who is going on to Star Detective. Jinkies! Velma said Jinkies. It must mean she found a clue. We have a pup named Scooby-Doo, Velma, who is honestly really adorable. Velma's a lot smaller. She's the baby of the bunch. She's wise beyond her years. She's a really little girl, but has a hyper-intelligent mind, has her high-tech computer she has in her purse, and has that really epic Mystery Machine skateboard she drives. This Velma, honestly really likable, really innocent. This is a much more kid-friendly Velma. Velma is the nice girl. She's easily the sweetie pie. She's very sweet, she's shy, she is very intelligent, she's smart, and often helps the gang with a lot of the mystery solving. Velma pretty much does a lot more work in a pup named Scooby-Doo, and she explains how the criminal pulled off the caper and what the crime was in her, you know, usual, the Scooby-Doo explain montage. Really like this Velma, though. Velma was framed for a few crimes she didn't commit, usually by people envious of her. She had her science experiment stolen, turned into a killer robot at one point. Someone's trying to frame Velma as a troublemaker. Velma gets framed for a pair of missing katana blades at a museum. She was framed for it because she was the only kid there at the scene of the crime. Usually the gang always call out people accusing Velma that, no, Velma couldn't have done it. She's great. She's sweet. She's nice. She's a good egg. And the gang are always there. They are caring friends deep down, which is always a sweet moment for a pup named Scooby-Doo. Kermit, where are the frickin' Muppets, not the Teletubbies? A pup named Scooby-Doo is such a classic. Fully agree. Not too much depth for the younger versions of the Mystery Incorporated team. They were kind of cartoonish, but it was a very simple cartoon. It was definitely episodic, easy for kids to get into, no super heavy continuity, and no profound character arcs. They were definitely baby versions of their iconic characters, which was definitely very appealing. Yeah, I'm gonna put her on to Star Detective. I honestly kind of wish she got to do a lot more, but then she did come back in What's New, Scooby-Doo. What's New, Scooby-Doo confirmed that a pup named Scooby-Doo is canon. We see how little Velma got traumatized by clowns. Yeah, Velma is afraid of clowns, apparently. I do like that. Velma has a monster that she's afraid of. A clown destroyed her birthday present, her rare vintage dictionary, by putting it into a shredder, and because Tom Kenny was stupid and scary, he scared Velma for life. Also remember Tom and Jerry kids, or the Flintstone kids, and Baby Looney Tunes. Hi, Cat. Hey, Akira, you made it just in time. We're wrapping up a pup named Scooby-Doo, Velma, who is S tier. Really like her. Love her design, too. They made this a much more sweet, wholesome Velma. So, Velma. Yep, we talked about your favorite Daphne Blake. Now we're talking about the other Scooby-Doo waifu. Velma is great. I'm gonna put her onto Star Detective also. So far, we have OG Velma and a pup named Scooby-Doo, Velma in S tier, and in Unknown, we have the Muppet Velma and the comic Velma, because I have no familiarity with them. Haven't gotten too in-depth with all our Velmas yet, but that's where we're at. Like I put Velma fights Futaba from Persona 5. Oh, they should have brought that up in the Supernatural episode. Sam is afraid of clowns. Oh, he is? Okay. I thought Muppet Velma looks okay, but at least it blinks. I guess the Puppet Scooby-Doo movie is for those who grew up watching a pup named Scooby-Doo. I thought she looked more like Edna Mode. That's what kind of threw me off. No cape, Scooby. Alright. Alright, caught up on comments. Alright. Next, we'll bump off Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, Velma. Who is going on to Dud Dinkley? Oh yeah, do any of you remember this show, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue? Well, Fred, Daphne, and Velma were not that important to it. Velma's design is really weird. Kind of reminded me of Peggy Hill, but that was a weird design choice. Basically, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo inherit a mansion and $1 million, and they go on wacky spy missions, kind of like a Venture Brothers show for kids. And Fred, Daphne, and Velma got the boot. They are sidelined. They basically sit at the malt shop or the laptop Starbucks, wherever, and give Scooby or Shaggy advice whenever they call them up. Velma's still the smart one, but she is not a key player in the show. That's really it. Exactly like Daphne and Fred, it's just a cameo. She's a bit character in a Scooby-Doo show, which is a huge middle finger for anyone who likes the entire Scooby-Doo gang. Yeah, she's also going on Dud Dinkley. Didn't do much. She basically gives common sense advice to Shaggy and Scooby whenever they need her, and she's the only one who really talks to them. Going on to Dud, but she is better than Mindy Kaling. Haru Akamani Kasumi from Futaba also has parents, Dale and Angie Dinkley, Sojiro, Sakura, and Wasabi Ishiki, that work in place that sell coffee. Oh, okay. Dang, Kiri got a lot to say. Also, I see Momo Ayasa, the Dandadan, as Velma. Well, Velma was a pop culture icon. All the Scooby-Doo gang got interpreted or inspired somebody else's characters. But yeah, we're gonna put her onto Dud Dinkley. Next, we'll bump off Lego Velma, who is going on to Ace Detective because Legos are awesome. Yeah, the Lego movies aren't super deep, but it's dumb, fun Scooby-Doo mysteries, but with the Lego style of humor. And we need a Lego Scooby-Doo video game. That would be so awesome. Or a Telltale Scooby-Doo. I'd be all for that. Anyways, Legos are awesome. Velma gets into many of the block adventures, has parts, builds stuff, destroys stuff. Basically, your standard Lego video game type of humor. I'm gonna put her on to Ace Detective because she is really cool, and made Kate Micucci mildly tolerable. I've always had a kind of a thing for Velma in certain iterations. Uh-oh. Sam Winchester has entered the chat. Just kidding. Hey, Blue Thunder. I read that some creators find Velma, Daphne, and Fred boring, which is why so many shows focus on Shaggy and Scooby. That is a fact. Even Hanna-Barbera openly admitted that they found Fred and Daphne really boring in the original show, which is why Shaggy and Scooby got their own movies with the Scrappy-Doo. Yeah, there was a point where Fred, Daphne, and Velma almost got completely removed from the original series. But yes, we had iterations that were really good over the years and brought the gang back, making Fred, Daphne, and Velma just as iconic as the dog. Yes, some versions of Velma are pretty. We're not at Linda Cardellini yet, but some versions are not, like Mindy Kaling. I didn't watch Venture Brothers except some clips, including the juice box where the general says, "I'm thirsty." Venture Brothers is pretty hilarious. Scooby-Doo tried its hand at a child-friendly Venture Brothers. It did not work. Amazingly, it was kind of boring. It was like very standard, oh haha, look at them do stupid things, and Shaggy and Scooby kind of going on more Johnny Test style adventures than Scooby Mysteries. A big reason why it didn't do well. Like the reason why Lego Dimensions show have Velma, as she is a cool hacker and technology expert. Yep, she is. But no, Shaggy and Scooby are popular. Well, they are kind of the faces of the franchise. Like I see Chi from Persona 4 as Velma that kicks butt. I'm mainly a Daphne guy, but Linda Cardellini definitely awakened something in me. Hey guys, did you know Linda Cardellini is also going to play Mrs. Voorhees in the new Jason show coming up? Pretty interesting casting there, but I can't wait to see it. We've had Shaggy as Ghostface, now Velma is gonna be Jason's mom. Okay, anyways, Lego Velma, definitely an entertaining character. I'll put her onto Ace Detective. Alright, let's finally bite the bullet. Hey, Kat. Hey, James. When are you getting to the live action one played by Wendy from Gravity Falls? Not there yet, talking about a few of the Toon ones, but James, you made it just in time, because we're talking about your favorite Velma, Mindy Kaling, who is going up top because she saved this franchise by being the best progressive Velma ever. Yeah, no, she's going on rock bottom because of course she is. Guys, can I even say anything you haven't heard your favorite other YouTubers already say? This Velma is god-awful. This is one of the worst cartoons I've ever seen. One of the worst cartoons I've lived to see and experience. Mindy Kaling decided to revamp Scooby-Doo, but for modern audiences. Translation, no one. So she decided to alter the Scooby-Doo gang as Zoomer teenagers in our modern day, experiencing cartoon mysteries in a much darker and edgier world. And it completely bombed. They tried to give Family Guy humor into Scooby-Doo, and it sucks. And no, not the good Family Guy, the terrible, mean-spirited modern Family Guy humor. And they bastardize everyone in Scooby-Doo except for the dog, because mercifully Scooby-Doo was not a part of this show. Basically, Velma is Mindy Kaling self-inserting herself so she could tell you a wacky mystery and her life story. This is pretty much Mindy Kaling cosplaying as Velma. The only reason why Velma is race changed here is because they wanted to make her look like Mindy Kaling, because Velma is her love letter to herself. And that pretty much sums up why the show bombed. Velma's show, and especially the character herself, are unfunny, cringe, obnoxious, mean-spirited, and annoying. This show, rarely has any funny moments. Once in a while, you might get a good joke, a physical slapstick joke, but Velma is obnoxious. She's a woke activist, very annoying, constantly bringing up race, ironically making herself look racist. Everybody's in love with her. No, really, everybody loves Velma because she's Mindy Kaling. Fred crushes on her, Norval crushes and simps on her, and Daphne becomes a lesbian for Velma. Yeah, I believe this is definitely Mindy's creepy fantasy. This is a terrible interpretation of the character. She's not funny, not likable, not relatable, you never root for her, and it really says a lot that the best moment in the series is when Scrappy-Doo kills her. Con! Yeah, Shadow Link with the barf emojis. Yeah, no surprise there. Checking up on your comments to see what you all have to say about Mindy Kaling saving the Scooby franchise. Yeah, Linda Cardellini is awesome. You forgot Shaggy is Springtrap? No, boo, it's F tier. Yeah, I know. Like, the reason I hate and see her burning alive makes me laugh. They killed her off only to bring her back in a movie. Yeah, so Velma got a movie. She came back in a Halloween special as like a ghost, and season 3 was gonna be about resurrecting Velma, only to hilariously cancel the show on her being a ghost walking our world. And that is an absolutely deserved fate because this Velma really sucks. Go to the Shadow Realm, HBO Velma, you Lois Griffin ripoff. Hey, Lois started out likable. And Mindy Kaling losing her Disney Pixar role disgust. Yeah, I heard Disney kicked her out of Inside Out 2 because she became controversial for this show. I think it's safe to say the Velma show has completely poisoned Mindy Kaling's career. She's doing some projects, but she's definitely not in the spotlight or an A-lister anymore, because that's how bad this show was. Yeah, can I really say anything to convince you that this Velma is bad other than this character might have killed the star's career? That is a special kind of failure. There's only one Mindy who is good enough to play Velma, and it's not Kaling. It's Khan! Yep, Mindy Khan, much superior. Like, ew. Barf emojis. Like, Cat, what is the bet for the Japanese actress for Velma for the Scooby-Doo anime? I'm not too familiar with a bunch of Japanese voice actors, so I can't really say. I do kind of hope her dubber is Christina V, though. Christina V would be good as Daphne or Velma. Maybe even both, if she has that range. But yeah, this Velma sucks. This is easily the rock bottom bad Velma, the worst on this tier list. Nobody likes her. Guys, did you know that Grades Allele even commented that this show was bad? Grades Allele actually came out and said this was a terrible show, and she is kind of ashamed that this is how far Scooby-Doo has fallen. Yeah, Grades Allele actually said that this was not what she expected and understands why fans are hating on it. Yeah, it really says a lot. And even sadder, Frank Welker is a part of the show. Frank Welker voices Fred's dad, and I presume he would have eventually voiced Scooby-Doo if they got around to ruining him. They got Scrappy-Doo, but he was played by some guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He did not sound much like Scrappy, but yeah, Scrappy-Doo kills Velma. She goes on quote-unquote mysteries, but it's a lot of her high school drama. Velma is going through a lot of stupid CW drama and romance arcs, forming the Scooby-Doo gang, and they're trying to suggest that Velma is the one who brought the gang together because Velma is Mindy Kaling, so she's the most important person in the universe. Yeah, Velma recruits Fred, Daphne, and Norval. No, I will not call him Shaggy. She recruits them. They're not at all friends, even by the end of the series. She and Daphne start dating each other. They try to have a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy romance, similar to Kaylee Cuoco's animated tune, but you feel nothing because all these characters are unlikable. The second mystery, they're trying to solve a serial killer going around, and it turns out to be Scrappy-Doo. Because this show is really stupid, and Scrappy has a big epic fight with Velma where he turns into like a Resident Evil monster, and he pushes Velma off a building where they both die. Scrappy-Doo redeemed himself, and Velma dies, she becomes a ghost, and the Halloween special sets up season 3 that they're gonna try to find a way to bring her back from the dead. And thankfully, the show is canceled before that ever happened. Yeah, this Velma sucks. She deserves to be dead. She deserves to stay dead. She is Mindy failing. Also, Jenga is canon for the Transformers comics. So is G.I. Joe. At least Velma isn't voiced by fucking Webby. Yeah, do not like Kate Micucci either. At least Gray wasn't in it. Mercifully, I don't think Matthew Lillard was in it. Sad news. I do recognize some voice actors in Velma. They did get Frank Welker, he plays Fred's dad, and they got Jennifer Hale back as an old, worn-out, drug-addicted Thorn, and pretty much the one that hurt me the most, Weird Al Yankovic is in the Velma show. Why, Weird Al? You have so much credibility. Why did you say yes to this? Yeah, Weird Al Yankovic is a reoccurring voice in the Velma show. One of his characters is he plays a nerd who constantly gets mutilated by Mystery Inc.'s wacky antics. Yeah, it's that kind of show. Why, Weird Al? Like, fun fact, new Goosebumps video game made the protagonist look like Velma. Yeah, I did recognize her. And Sabrina from Miraculous. That's what I kind of felt. They were trying to go for a Velma Dinkley look, but she has red hair like Sabrina. Really glad Sabrina finally stood up to Chloe. At least Gray wasn't in it. Yeah, thank God. Agree, James, agree. Gray DeLille dodged a bullet. I hear Scrappy was played by Rexplode. I've never seen the show, and I'm not really interested in seeing it. Don't worry, Blue Thunder, you're not missing anything. It's terrible. Basically, it's a 2D Santa Inc. I think Scrappy did us all a favor, killing off Velma. Yep. Yep, he did. The 5 live actions were way better than the HBO Velma. Oh yeah, bar none. Mindy Kaling didn't save the Scooby franchise. She only lowered the bar. So I guess any future Scooby-Doo creator, don't worry, your Scooby-Doo creations or fanfics will definitely be better than this garbage show. Velma, also known as Make a Scooby-Doo Cartoon Without Scooby-Doo, they were teasing and alluding that Scooby would show up on the show. I think we all agree that we dodged a bullet, that never happened either. But yeah, Scooby-Doo is hinted at, teased like he's coming like a Marvel character. And at one point there were fan theories that this black girl was going to become Scooby-Doo. Yeah, the show is really cringe and weird. But yeah, they were teasing that the dog would have eventually shown up. But it was more about Mindy. That is lame. It is. They ruined Shaggy. They ruined me. Hey, I was helpful specifically in Ghoul School. Scrappy was also awesome in Boo Brothers. Who did Al kill? Yeah. Why, Weird Al? What, Weird Al? Why first Hazbin Hotel, now this? Yeah, Weird Al Yankovic was in Velma. He plays a few background characters. The big one is he's like this nerdy fat kid who accidentally gets injured or mutilated. Kind of a Meg Griffin, but for Velma. Like, I finished all of Jugoku Sensei Nube remake and waiting for season 2. Was it good, Akira? Like I'm doing Death Battle Fanon Tamamoa versus Volpina. Ooh, sounds awesome. I put Linda ahead of her, but live action prequel Velma wasn't bad looking. No, she was better, but Mindy Kaling was an abomination. Who did he kill? What kind of trouble did Weird Al commit to get him subjected to this kind of punishment? Hey, Tails, hey. Alright, anyways, Mindy Kaling is a Mindy failing. Easily the worst Velma on this tier list, and I am so glad this show did not get renewed. Easily F tier, and definitely will be outclassed by every other Velma we have left. Yep, going into F tier. Okay, next we'll knock off Scoob Velma, who is going on to B student. Yeah, she was fine. What's her name? Gina Rodriguez or somebody from Brooklyn, whatever. I voices her. All right, she's fine. She's fine. Scoob is quote unquote a prequel showing how the Scooby-Doo gang met and formed Mystery Inc. before it devolves into a story building the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe. Fred, Daphne, and Velma are there, but they don't really get to do too much. They have a few jokes, have a few moments where they help the gang, but it is mostly the Shaggy, Scooby, and Blue Falcon movie. The film is not one of my favorites. I gave it a chance, I watched it with a few friends, and honestly it was kind of meh. The interpretations of Fred, Daphne, and Velma felt like they barely did anything. It's mostly building up that there's a big Marvel-style cinematic universe, but with our Hanna-Barbera characters. Some I'm certain the children do not recognize, like Captain Caveman and Dynamite Dog Wonder. Odd question, have you played Danny's World on Roblox? No, I have not, Tails. It was his punishment for his cameo in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Be cool. Alright, we'll do her after. Yeah, he was in Pokemon the movie 2000s. Oh, he was? Okay. Yes, Kat, I did wait for Wolf to finish the 3 movies, 3 OVAs, and the 3 remake review. Yeah, Wolf is pretty much busy right now doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Alright, so this version of Velma, she's fine. She's fine. They came in, did her job, kind of made her a basic interpretation of Velma, the smart, snarky one. She becomes best friends with the Scooby Gang. I do like that her outfit is like Judge Judy or something for Halloween. Yeah, out of all the Warner Brothers characters you could have referenced, they had her as Judge Judy, though Daphne as Wonder Woman made sense because that was when the Snyderverse was promoting her hard. But yeah, Velma comes in, does her job, then it becomes Shaggy and Scooby and the Blue Falcon fighting Dick Dastardly. Dick Dastardly is trying to save Muttley from an alternate dimension, and we tease a bunch of spin-off Marvel-style films with characters that most likely modern audiences don't even remember. Like, there's gonna be a Captain Caveman movie, a Josie and the Pussycats movie, a Speed Buggy movie, a Blue Falcon and Dynamite spin-off, pretty much everything. Unfortunately, David Zaslav killed off this universe by canceling Scoob 2, so we won't be seeing her ever again, meaning she has to end up on OK. I used to watch a lot of Judge Judy. Really, Saga, you did? That surprises me. Carmen Sandiego as Carmen Sandiego. What? I recommend it. It's really addictive. You might like the ecstatic ecstasy of Roblox. Fun fact, Gina Rodriguez played Catwoman on Bat Wheels, which I still haven't watched. If I were to make a Velma series, I would have her traveling around the world solo solving mysteries like Carmen Sandiego. Yeah, that could work, Blue Thunder. I do agree with that. A Velma show should have worked, but Mindy Kaling unfortunately made it her love letter to herself. Carmen Sandiego as Velma's okay. Yeah, she was fine. Personally, I would have preferred, Mindy Kahn or, what's her name? Linda Cardellini. Sorry, she almost slipped my mind. Yeah, Linda Cardellini or Mindy Kahn would have been good. Not Kate Micucci, though. I do not like Kate Micucci Velma. Did you know the actor who voiced the sheriff in Mystery Inc. is Gordon's voice actor? In my opinion, Gordon needs a break from the paranormal. Are you talking about Patrick Warburton, Sheriff Bronson Stone? Yeah, I know Patrick Warburton from a lot of things. He's Brock frickin' Sampson. He's Joe Swanson from Family Guy. He is Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. Played a lot of good characters, and Patrick Warburton was also on Scream 3 as a Ghostface victim. Pretty funny how random celebrities get killed by Ghostface. I would love a Josie and the Pussycats movie. Didn't you ever see the Rosario Dawson Josie and the Pussycats Blue Thunder? I forget who played Josie, but I know Rosario Dawson was in it as one of her best friends. I heard some people do like that movie, but there's an equal camp who hate it. Still better than the Gem movie. Sorry, I meant to say cartoon visuals. Okay. Carmen Sandiego's Velma's okay, I read that. Oh, her name is pronounced Mikuchi. I bet for Velma, Japanese actress would be Shion Wakayama, the actress of Momo Ice. Okay. Don't know who either of those people are. Alright, anyways, Scoob Velma, she's fine. Going on B Student. Alright. Next, let's bump off Be Cool Scooby-Doo Velma, Kate Micucci, who is going on to Mindy Failing. I do not like Kate Micucci's Velma, like whatever her name is. I don't like Kate's voice for Velma. Her Velma is a lot more whiny, nasally, kind of a know-it-all, and not a very charming one like classic Velma. So Kate Micucci was supposed to bring Velma back to her original roots, where Velma's the kind-hearted smart girl, a nerd with a heart. She is friendly, she's outgoing, has a bit of a tomboy streak, but otherwise is the smart girl and friend of the Scooby team. I do not like her voice. It doesn't fit Velma, and all I can hear is Kate Micucci's other voices from every role she's ever been in. One of my problems with Kate is she is not at all a good voice actress. I don't mean her acting sucks, but she does one voice for every character she's ever played. Kate uses the same voice for Velma as Sadie, as Dr. Fox, as Webby, as pretty much everything she's ever guest starred in. She has one voice, and it's always her whiny, nasally voice. Scooby, Shaggy, why are you fooling around? I'm trying to solve a mystery. We solve mysteries. We're the Scooby Gang. We're used to it. I'm so sick of this formula. It's always this really high-pitched whine, and it gets very irritating, especially if you're watching a movie with this Velma. Be Cool Scooby-Doo is not one of my favorite Scooby shows. I watched a few episodes. It just wasn't my thing. It wasn't the worst thing ever. I wouldn't even say it's worse than Velma, but I did not like a lot of the interpretations of the Scooby Gang. They kind of made them a lot more aggressive, a lot more jerks, and way more snarky jokes. The gang usually gets on each other's nerves. It doesn't really bother me that the Scooby Gang do have much more funny chemistry together, but some of the performances and direction they took with them was not my thing. So she's Winnie as that one character from Evangelion, kind of. An animated Josie and the Pussycats movie. Oh, so you didn't like the live action one, huh, Blue Thunder? The one that made the mean girl and their manager a couple instead of brother and sister. Oh, Joe didn't watch Family Guy a lot, and I think Josie and the Pussycats movie in the 2000s, I think. Oh, did you ever see that one, Snowstorm? Yeah, there was an attempt at a Josie and the Pussycats movie that everybody forgot in the early 2000s, and it had some funny moments, but the fan base was really split on it. Some people loved it, some people hate it, felt it was a betrayal of the cartoon. It was a lot better than the Gem and the Holograms movie, that's for sure. But I can see why it was not a lot of people's favorite thing. I'm personally not attached to Josie and the Pussycats, so I wasn't too offended by most of the changes they made. Did not like that Xander and the mean girl went from brother and sister to a couple in the movie. That was really weird. Or Hasine Ko's Japanese actress. Yeah, she would make a great Velma. As Velmapedia makes me laugh. Like she's allergic to farm animals. Okay, so they kind of made Daphne and Velma a lot more annoying on this show. Shaggy and Scooby are a lot more kind of mean-spirited friends. They have their friendship moments, but constantly get on each other's nerves. They tried to give Velma, Daphne, and Fred a lot more personality, and they made Daphne so annoying in this show, but Kate Micucci's voice does not work for me. She doesn't really sound like Velma. She sounds like, well, pretty much Dr. Fox from Unikitty, and basically her character is constantly being a know-it-all, which made her just so insufferable. Honestly, she's gone on to Mindy Kaling. I don't like her, but Kate, I would take you over Mindy Kaling. That's the highest praise you'll get. If you think that's bad, Fred's obsessed with the friggin' car. Yeah, I saw that in a few of the movies where Fred and the Mystery Machine are more so a couple than he is with Daphne. And why not hire Abby Trott, actress of Nezuko, for Velma's actress? That would be pretty ideal. Ben Schwartz is the worst example. The animation of Be Cool Scooby-Doo immediately turned me off to it. I agree, Blue Thunder. I was not a fan of the art style. It looked honestly like how Family Guy drew them. Remember when Family Guy did Scooby-Doo riffs and the gang looked really weird in McFarlane style? You're right, Scoob. We're looking for one sick son of a bitch. Yeah, they kind of looked like how Seth MacFarlane drew them on Family Guy. They looked really off-putting, and their eyes, like, jut out too much to me. She solves mysteries, but does not rewrite history. I never saw the live-action one. Oh, alright, if you're curious, Blue Thunder, give it a chance if you love Josie and the Pussycats. I will warn you that some fans do not like it. It is a love-it-or-hate-it movie. Like having Momo Aye's voice for Velma. Yeah, you keep mentioning her, but I don't know who she is, Akira. Like her Clown Fear return. That was pretty funny. The mean girl is named Alexandra. That's right, they're Alex and Alexandra. They're supposed to be twins, and the live-action movie made them a couple. Alex and Alexandra are actually villains who fall in love by the end of the movie. It is a definitely odd directing choice. But yeah, Alex and Alexandra go from siblings in the show to actually like kind of saboteur, corrupt executives and stars in the movie. Alexandra is a rival diva trying to get rid of Josie, and Alex is the manager of both their groups, and Alexandra is sabotaging behind his back until they fall in love and hook up. And it was definitely odd seeing these two go from siblings to a couple in the live action movie. I've seen half of it, but in my perspective, it has potential to be a good movie, but I understand why many fans don't like it. But I mostly agree that it's way better than that awful Gem movie. Yeah, by far. Gem and the Holograms movie, much, much worse. That movie is a sin against nature. Like, maybe Laura Bailey as Velma would be a good voice if they do a Scooby-Doo Telltale game. Or Clementine. Clementine could work for Velma. She'd be a lot more tolerable than Kate's voice. Haha, Cat beat me to the reference. Lucky me. Momo Ice is like Velma, where she got psychokinesis, hands, power, and love for a Shaggy with glasses named Akaran. I would love that. They should make a Telltale games of properties like Power Rangers, The Flintstones, or Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Telltale would handle Mortal Kombat better than current NetherRealm is. But yeah, I think a Telltale Scooby-Doo game is definitely right up their alley. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for them to finish the friggin' Wolf Among Us 2. Still looking forward to that game, so please finish it, Telltale. Alright, anyways, Be Cool Scooby-Doo Velma is a Mindy failing. She's going on rock bottom. She's slightly more tolerable than Mindy, but just barely. I still don't like her voice. Speaking of which, we're also going to dump the Scooby-Doo and Guess Who Velma, who is also Kate Michucci, going on Dud Dinkley. Her voice just does not impress me. I don't like Kate's voice for Velma. I'm sorry. And her interpretation of the character just made me like her less and less. She's borderline kind of like Mindy Kaling's Velma, and obnoxious, insufferable know-it-all, and that's supposed to be a part of her charm, but she kind of comes across as very cynical and very whiny, and that's not Velma. Velma's supposed to be likable. Velma is smart, but when she explains stuff, she's actually polite, she cares about people, and she's helping explain the mystery because she cares about preventing crime. This Velma honestly feels like she's trying to prove she's intelligent, she's superior, she's better than everyone, and it is not my thing. Do not like her. Though, easily my least favorite movie of Scooby-Doo is, oh, besides the terrible ones, I hate Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo, because Velma is also the worst character in that, where they go back to their hometown and are attacked by living jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkin heads, and it sounds cool, but Velma is obsessed with trying to prove that she's right, proving that there's a logical explanation, and Kate's voice did not make me root for her. She made Velma seem honestly kind of more of like a selfish bitch. Do not like Kate Michucci Velma. She's going on Dud Dinkley. I'm still waiting for Telltale Batman Season 3 and Game of Thrones Season 2. I don't think Telltale's gonna do Game of Thrones Season 2, especially after the final season fiasco. Yeah, I know people say House of the Dragons is good, but they might not be touching Game of Thrones ever again because the finale pissed a lot of people off. I heard Telltale was actually thinking of doing a Stranger Things Telltale game, but it never went through because it was planned around the time their company went bankrupt. And now that they're back, all they've done is The Expanse, and they are planning to do The Wolf Among Us Season 2. This is supposed to be their big comeback game. Telltale's back in the saddle. They're going to do more games like this, but it still hasn't been released yet, making some fans a bit skeptical. I personally am looking forward to The Wolf Among Us Season 2, really like it. I hope Telltale does a lot more games like they used to, a lot of these franchise games, because Telltale does a lot of interesting stories with them. I do not think they're going to do a Game of Thrones Season 2, especially because Game of Thrones has fallen out of style after the final season, and, you know, George R. R. Martin not finishing his damn books, but yeah, Game of Thrones is not a hot topic anymore. Batman Telltale Season 3 also, please. Yeah, that is so awesome. I want another Batman Telltale game. Especially it would be a huge apology after that Suicide Squad game. Alright, sorry, catch up on some of your comments. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I would definitely love to see Telltale do Mortal Kombat, Scooby-Doo. Would Telltale be good at a Power Rangers game? I would not be against it, but I swear, if it's another Mighty Morphin game, I'm gonna lose it. Yes, I know Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is good, but there are other Ranger teams out there, you know. Also, Ayara is the Daphne Blake since she is the popular girl. Ah, okay. Like, what version are we having for a Scooby-Doo Telltale game like Coolsville or Crystal Cove? I think Crystal Cove would be more ideal because everybody loves Mystery Incorporated. Though Coolsville is an awesome town, but I think if they want a serious story, they might lean towards Crystal Cove. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants a Game of Thrones Season 2, but Batman Telltale Season 3, everybody definitely wants that. Who do you think is going to be the villain if they do make a third Batman Telltale series? My money's on either Hugo Strange or Hush. Those would be two ideal villains, and I think would definitely fit the story. I personally hope it's Hush, because Hush has not been done well in the last video game. Yes, I am shaming you, Arkham Knight side mission. And it would be pretty funny to see Troy Baker voicing an evil Hush like Kevin Conroy did. Like Scarecrow's return and Bill Nye showed up. Yeah, I remember that. That was really weird. Bill Nye was like the AI in the Mystery Machine, and Dr. Jonathan Crane showing up in a Scooby-Doo movie without Batman just made it real weird. Velma's ruined forever thanks to Kaling. And it is meh. The character or the show? Yes. To which one? Yes. Like my bet for Scooby-Doo Telltale actor. Okay, so will Frank Welker voice Scooby-Doo in future projects? I know Frank Welker is kind of getting old. He's kind of up there. He is a great voice actor, don't get me wrong, and I hope he plays Scooby-Doo and Megatron until the day he dies, but we do kind of have to consider who will replace him as Scooby-Doo, since that dog is iconic. I would honestly think Seth Green might replace him, because Seth Green voices Scooby on Robot Chicken all the time, and does a pretty spot-on impression of Scooby. His Scooby-Doo kind of leans more towards Neil Fanning from the James Gunn movies, but Seth Green could honestly do a pretty good Scooby voice. Like my bet for the Scooby-Doo Telltale actors, I kind of hope they bring Grey DeLisle back as Daphne. Grey DeLisle has shown up in a few Telltale games, but I wouldn't be surprised if Laura Bailey was also Daphne or Velma. A Final Destination Telltale would be kind of interesting. Yeah, it would. How about an original game from them? No franchises, no series, just original story. Well, Tales, they tried doing that with Dispatch. I heard Telltale and another episodic company were working on Dispatch together. It was an original story they were building. And yeah, Telltale has sort of tried that, but they were doing a lot of these franchise games because they made money. Yeah, there's no way around it. They made money because people would play Batman, play The Walking Dead, play Jurassic Park, play friggin' Back to the Future or Borderlands. That was the big reason why they did a lot of these franchise games. Because Telltale was getting a lot of money to fund future new games and pretty much made bank with a lot of them. I mean, people are still talking about the Lee Everett game of The Walking Dead because it was that good. And it was, of course, based on a popular IP back then. Laura Bailey as Daphne Blake, yeah, that would be great. Abby Trott as Velma, perfect. Frank Welker as Scooby-Doo. Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, or do you think they would get somebody else? Matthew Lillard is a pretty great Shaggy, and still voicing him. I hope Harley Quinn and Joker return in Season 3. I'm not sure if they will, because Telltale has an infamous track record about their continuity. Usually they try to abruptly get rid of characters because they don't like programming too much into their games, and occasionally some characters are awkwardly written out or don't show up. that was kind of a big reason the Walking Dead games kind of declined, because they kept scrapping a lot of characters. Remember when they anticlimatically killed off Omid, Krista, and Kenny, and even Jane? Telltale doesn't like bringing back assets because it makes programming future episodes harder, and they just like starting a story from scratch. So I'm not sure if Joker and Harley will be back if there is a third season. They may be mentioned like Harvey Dent and the Penguin are, but unsure where they're going. But Shaggy and Fred's actor is hard, since any ideas, Cat? I think Troy Baker would be pretty good as Fred. Troy Baker's done a lot of good choices, and I can see him doing Fred Jones really well. Matthew Lillard has to come back as Shaggy. He is pretty much the definitive Shaggy as of now without Casey Kasem. Season 3 would be fun if they did something with the League of Assassins or Court of Owls. That's right, they were teasing the Court of Owls and Ra's al Ghul were here. It's implied the League of Assassins are behind Project Lotus in Season 2. Unfortunately, it's not followed up upon because the Joker and Amanda Waller take over as the villains, and the Court of Owls are hinted at. They exist here, there's allusions to them, but we haven't seen them officially come into the light yet. That would be pretty interesting, and I could see Batman fighting Talon. Like maybe a Season 3 like Telltale style, as imagine we see Daphne Blake's military sister in the Scooby-Doo Telltale game. That would be pretty interesting. Alright, anyways, Kate Micucci's Velma, not a fan. Going on to Dud Dinkley. Alright guys, got a ton of other Velmas on here. So, who should we bump off next? I think we should go a positive route, and let's do What's New Scooby-Doo Velma, Mindy Kahn's Velma, who is going on to Star Detective. I love What's New Scooby-Doo. It is a fun show. It is entertaining, a lot of cool monster designs, and they made the Scooby Gang a lot more well-rounded and fun. Fred, Daphne, and Velma got huge personality upgrades, and we got some iconic voice actors for them, one of them being Mindy Kahn as Velma. This is the first time Mindy Kahn has played Velma Dinkley, and she knocked it out of the park. They kind of made the What's New team resemble the James Gunn movie versions. They have a lot of their personality and quirks, and Velma has a bit of Linda Cardellini's energy into her, mixed with, of course, her original counterparts, and I think they knocked it out of the park. Really love What's New Scooby-Doo's Velma. Velma is a lot more comical in this series. She's usually the butt of a few jokes. Every time she thinks she's onto something, something bad happens, like when when they're trying to get away from a bunch of sharks. We made it, we might be safe, and a shark destroys half their boat. Ah, irony, thou art a cruel mistress. Kind of has that Daria energy to her. My definitive voice for Velma, I agree, Mindy Kahn is great. She has an epic Velma voice. She sounds like the character, she acts like the character, and of course they did a few new things with the character. I know the episode everybody remembers most about Velma is the Metallic Clown episode where the gang goes mini golfing, and this show does something interesting. They spice up the formula and make Shaggy the brave, intelligent detective, while Velma's the scaredy cat. Why? Because Velma's afraid of clowns. Yeah, Velma has a clownophobia because a clown voiced by Tom Kenny scarred her for life. We'll just call him Uncle Howie. Uncle Howie destroyed Velma's dictionary gift and ruined her birthday party, making Velma suffer a crippling fear of clowns. And Velma undergoes a lot of great character development in this. We see Velma acting like Shaggy. She's cowardly, she's avoiding the mystery, and she actually hangs out with Scooby-Doo for once, and it is so funny. Yeah, it gets me every time. They're like playing in the batting cages, batting and eating food together, going to the arcade, and you never see Velma and Scooby-Doo hang out all that much. And they bump into the clown, get chased, and Velma conquers her fear of clowns. When Shaggy gets eaten, the trap goes wrong, as always in Scooby-Doo, and Velma actually defeats the clown, saving everyone, including her best friend, and conquering her clown phobia. Yeah, Velma undergoes a lot of great character in this episode especially, and I can see why people list it as one of the fan favorite episodes. There was also the time where Velma actually rage quits because when they solve a mystery involving a centaur, The criminal is somebody they never met and don't know, and Velma kind of snaps and loses it. What? Time out. This one doesn't count. No way. We don't know her. That's cheating. And Velma is like complaining like they're playing a game or something. Velma is more or less butthurt because she didn't know who the criminal was and technically didn't actually solve the mystery on her own. They thought it was this crazy professor guy. Nope, it was one of the side characters' treacherous assistant, and Velma was upset because they'd never met her. Kind of funny when the Scooby Gang point out that, oh, we never met this person and they've been the monster chasing us all along. But yeah, this Velma, iconic, really like her. They also made her a lot hotter. They made Velma have a tight sweater. All the Scooby Gang all got glamour upgrades. Fred and Shaggy look like pretty boys, and Velma and Daphne were definitely a lot hotter in this show. Yeah, Velma wears a tight sweater, gets a few swimsuit scenes, has that moment where she poses as a stunt double and she has to wear a scandalous outfit. Do like her friendship with Daphne, though. They also fight like two female wrestlers, where Bookworm and Fashion Statements have a girl slam fight. Really funny stuff. Yeah, Mindy Kahn's Velma, definitely definitive, really iconic, one of the best interpretations of this character, truly a star detective. Speaking of Haunting Hour, gotta do a villain monster tier list for that around October, definitely. I have something special connected to the Haunting Hour coming up soon, so get hyped for that. How we doin'? How we doin'? It's the Uncle Howie Show. Let's just hope it never ends. Do you wanna be a friend? How we doin'? It's the Uncle Howie Show. Yeah, we all love Tom Kenny. But Velma had no problems with clowns when she teamed up with Batman and Robin to stop Joker and Penguin. That's true, but you gotta remember they kind of play around with continuity in a few of these shows. What's New Scooby-Doo technically never said if Where Are You is canon or not. Though a pup named Scooby-Doo is canon. Do love that. Yes, the episode where Velma becomes Shaggy and Shaggy becomes Velma. She's in my top 10 Velma designs. Really like it too. Yeah, this Velma honestly looks like a modernized version of her classic look, pretty much exactly. They did make her look a lot more feminine. No disrespect to anyone who likes Where Are You, Velma, but yeah, they definitely showed off that this was a female Velma. Yep, a definitive Velma. Velma goes shut down in Goblin King as we wait for you watching it. Oh, Scooby-Doo versus Bishaman. The only Mindy who voiced Velma, end of story. But there's Kale, end of story. Exactly, James. Like, why didn't her parents take her to therapy for her clown fear? Well, the Scooby Gang do have awful parents, as shown in Mystery Incorporated. But I guess the scars were too deep for Velma. Yeah, Velma had no problems facing the friggin' Joker, who is the scariest clown of all. Well, at least Velma didn't see the prototype from Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, since that is a giant clown toy with scary claws that stab people. Oh yeah, she played hockey too. Velma was also into hockey. Velma is slightly more athletic. I say slightly, there are some sports and athletics she didn't like. Some she did get into, like hockey and roller skating. Please tell me that I didn't miss Velma, because if I will hunt you down. Oh, you missed Mindy Kaling. She's rock bottom on Mindy failing. Yeah, talk about some Velmas. Honestly got a good number off right now. We're on What's New Velma currently, Anime Night. Yeah, also the tech house makeup makes her pretty with makeup, and Daphne's just pretty. Wow, I look hot. Not a line I expected from Scooby-Doo, but that's what made it so funny. The high-tech house glammed Velma up, and Daphne doesn't get alterations because you can't fix perfection. They knew there was a huge fanboy level for Daphne. Still waiting for your Disney movie tier list. There's a lot, Blue Thunder, and some I'm not watching, like Turning Red. You don't have to do them all at once. You can do them separate by eras. Might do the Disney Renaissance, because I have seen all of those. Not sure if I'm gonna do the 2020s because there's been so many bad ones or ones not worth talking about. Looking at you turning red. I've been watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers once and always, and I have to say, it's good because it's a love letter to the OG fans. Yeah, it is. Though, not gonna lie, my only problem with once and always is, one, they're trying to imply Zordon isn't dead after his great, noble, heroic sacrifice in Countdown to Destruction. Yeah, Billy thinks Zordon is alive and somewhere out there, and he can save them, and I don't like that. I think Zordon should stay dead. I don't want to bring him back. I don't want them to undo his heroic sacrifice, because that is one of the greatest moments of the franchise. Why would you undo one of the greatest death scenes in television history? Yes, I know we all love Zordon, but it was a great finale for the character. He died in a blaze of glory saving our universe, and undoing that pretty much destroys all emotion in that moment. Yeah, if Zordon comes back, it will ruin that key scene in Countdown to Destruction. I'm just saying it, that's how I feel. I know we all love Zordon, but please do not undo his death. And two, okay, I know we all love Twee Trong, but it felt very late to have a memorial to her. Yeah, I know, Twee Trong, the actress who played Trini, she died, and the movie finally brings up what happened to her. Trini died in universe, and it's a huge love letter to the great Twee Trong because she died too soon, but guys, she died 20 years ago. Why are we doing this for her now? Wouldn't it make more sense if this was a memorial for JDF since he committed suicide around this time? But no, we have a very late rest in peace message for Twee Trong, and they should have done this like back when it was relevant. That's really my only problem, and also Trini's daughter was kind of bratty for the first half. I know she gets better and she becomes a proper Yellow Ranger, but man, she was kind of unfair to Billy. You didn't like turning red? No, I did not, Blue Thunder. I do not. Why? Because I'm a man and I do not like that concept. Like Jinkies, man. The terrible Velma show helped Scrappy become popular and a hero again. We did mention that. He killed Velma, that he wanted to kill her for ruining the franchise. Yeah, I saw the memes. I remember posting one back when it happened. Oh, there's Wolf going by getting snacks.
Yo.
Hey, Wolf. I hate when they do fake out deaths like Zordon and Fairy Tail. Ugh, yeah, especially Fairy Tail. Remember when franchises used to have good death scenes? Now, we kill them off and bring them back. Some characters we resurrect years later when people forgot. Unfortunately, I didn't get it either because Zordon's revival won't make sense, and unfortunately for Billy, it only brought back Rita Repulsa. Yeah, technically she's a Robo-Rita because we couldn't get the original actress to come back, and it would be kind of messy to the continuity if the real Rita came back, but yeah. We got Robo-Rita, who was a pretty interesting villain, though personally I wish we got Robo-Zed. Better late than never. Yeah, I get the idea, Blue Thunder, but it just felt kind of weird that we're talking about her death now. It's like when Scream 5 did the whole For Wes thing, and it was dedicated to the great Wes Craven. I know it's a nice love letter, and we all miss him, but it was kind of a late letter, and that's the issue. They're not doing it like when the time is right. Like, what do you think of Lucy Hartfilia's actress as Velma? Oh, Chermi Lei or her Japanese actress? If we get a Scooby-Doo anime English dub. Okay, I like Chermi Lei, but I do not think she would be a good Velma. If she does Velma, she's gonna sound like Sarada from Boruto. I would have preferred them bringing back Audrey Dubois from the unaired pilot, but not showing her face. That would have been funny. And Rita became the Mystic Mother. Yeah, that was also kind of confusing. Like, isn't Rita technically alive? I know they brought back her evil and solid human form. Well, robot form, but you get the idea. Kind of weird. They should have brought back a villain people wanted to see, like Finster or Goldar or Robo Goldar. No. And Scream is not at London. Should have gotten Thrax for once and always as the villain. No, nobody wants to see Thrax. In any case, what's new Velma is one of the more attractive Velmas. Yeah, I like her, though there is one hotter Velma, but we'll get to her later. What's new Scooby-Doo Velma? Iconic, going on Star Detective, of course she is. Will she be outclassed? We'll see, but for now, she is definitely S tier. Mindy Khan, you are a legend. Alright, I gotta use my first restroom break, but you guys cast your vote on which Velma you want to see next. We got a good number of them left, so please feel free to tell me in the comments section or live chat below. I'll be right back. Jinkies, Cat is back. What'd you guys vote for? Scooby-Doo animated movies Velma, her actress is an underrated version. There are 3 live-action Velma actresses. Yep, got them all here. Oh, you want Linda. I know, you like Linda, but might be saving her for last. I'm in between Mystery Inc. or Linda Cardellini. Though BJ Ward was also pretty good. People want a live-action Velma. Live-action Velma, Robin Velma. As everyone, what are your beat for Velma English dub for Scooby-Doo anime? What do you think, James? I don't pay attention to voice actors. Oh, you should, Shadow. A lot of great voice acting legends. I agree, they should have brought back Zed or as Robo Zed, but I kind of doubt they would bring back Pabu and Finster since their original actors either retired or passed away. Well, they could have gotten someone to do like a impression of them like they did for Rita Repulsa. You like Abby Trott. Mystery Inc. Velma, 2002 live-action Velma. Okay, we'll knock off a live-action Velma. Let's do the live-action Velma from the prequel Mystery Begins. Haley I forget her name. Haley. We'll put her onto Ace Detective. Yeah, this is the first Asian Velma, and a much better one than Mindy Kaling. This is Velma from Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins, and Curse of the Lake Monster, and honestly, I do really like her. She was a pretty underrated Velma. So, Velma's actually Asian in this, which is not a problem because she got everything else good about the character. She is the shy nerd. She's a bit antisocial. This is a egghead Velma, but a much nicer one. She's not yet at Linda Cardellini's personality, despite this being a prequel. Velma is actually kind of a nice, friendly girl. She is at first kind of an antisocial nerd until all the Scooby Gang get detention and go on a Breakfast Club adventure trying to clear their names. And yeah, I did come around to liking her. I do think the actors playing the Scooby Gang in these 2 prequel movies honestly are good. They feel like the characters, they act like the characters, and they bring their own charm and energy to each of their roles. This was supposed to be a prequel to the 2 James Gunn movies, and I think it does kind of work. Some stuff doesn't. There are some continuity hiccups, and Frank Welker comes back as Scooby-Doo, which I do love Frank Welker, but it's kind of weird because he doesn't sound like Neil Fanning's interpretation of the character. But yeah, we see how they began, how Mystery Inc. first formed. Yes, this does sadly retcon away a pup named Scooby-Doo, but gives us an okay movie and a terrible sequel. So I did kind of like Velma. She and Daphne become best friends. They imply that Velma might have a crush on Fred in this movie. It's honestly pretty adorable and makes sense why both the girls always go with Fred when they split up. It's basically detailing the origin of how they all become friends, how they all unite, and become the Scooby-Doo Detective Agency. They clear their names, they defeat the ghost who turns out to be the evil principal, and Velma is actually the first one who wants to continue on their friendship, continue on being a mystery-solving team of friends. All the gang believe they're going their separate ways, only to instantly come back and realize, you know, we kind of have a talent for mystery solving, we should do this again. And they become Mystery Incorporated, and yeah, I do really like her. Unfortunately, movie 2 kind of costs her a few points because Velma is MIA for at least half of it. Curse of a Lake Monster, they all get summer jobs working at Daphne's uncle's private resort, and Velma is there. Shaggy falls in love with Velma. This is a total homage to their relationship in Mystery Incorporated, where they try to ship Shaggy and Velma together. Shaggy is kind of simping for Velma, wants to be with her, wants to ask her out, though, strangely, Velma is disappearing for certain parts of the movie, and this is because Velma is the villain. How? Velma is actually possessed by a witch. She found a cursed artifact and got possessed by an evil witch who used to rule this land. The witch is trying to summon her ancient powers and take over the world, of course. And she has her weird CGI demon frog minions do her bidding. Velma is oddly absent for a lot of parts of the movie, and this is because the witch is actually Velma. There is a real supernatural presence here. Velma was taken over, and she's been on the sidelines or in the background, helping with the witch's evil plan. Shaggy goes on his first date with Velma, gives her a moon rock, and it's what the witch is hunting, and we get the big Scooby-Doo chase scene before they unmask. Pretty much the obvious twist. It's Velma! Velma has betrayed them because she's possessed. Velma is being controlled by this witch, and Shaggy breaks the spell with the power of love. Yeah, Shaggy's love helps save Velma, which makes the ending kind of more confusing. But yeah, they kiss, the witch's spirit is banished, and all the evil mutant frogs turn into regular frogs. They're punk frogs no more. So, they save the day, Fred and Daphne get back together, and Velma and Shaggy become friends. Yep, all that build-up, all the romantic subplots, CW drama, and Shaggy and Scooby having a friendship fallout, and they're just friends. Yeah, they kiss and realize, you know what, we're not really into each other all that much. And that's kind of the end of the story. I believe there was going to be a third one, but the second one did so horribly, and it's not hard to see why. So I catch up on comments. Aja from Gem. Oh, that was her. Okay. I mean, all these Velmas are better than Kaling. Absolutely. Haley Kiyoko. Okay, thank you. Haley Kiyoko. Yeah, our first Asian Velma, and honestly, she did a pretty decent job. Stevie Nichols from Wizards of Waverly Place. Never watched it. I know a lot of people recommended it, or tell me a Haunting Hour actor was from it. All these Velmas are better than Kaling and Maggie in Insidious Chapter 3. Yeah, after the Nostalgia Critic reviewed this movie, I found something else that the actress was in, and let's just say she kind of lived in my head for a while. I have to check her out now, thanks John Smith. Aja from Gem, nobody wants to remember that movie. So, Haley Kiyoko honestly does a pretty good job as Velma. She feels like the character, looks like her, has a blast. I think the prequel actors did a tremendously great job. The problem is these movies are kind of iffy. Mystery Begins is alright, it's an okay flick. The second one is garbage, I do not like it. They doubled down on a lot of the CW drama for the mystery team, and has a lot of really lazy effects, especially in the later half. The effects are bad in Curse of the Lake Monster. Just look at those CGI frogs and tell me you believe they're actually there interacting with the gang. But the actors themselves did fine. I'll put her on Ace Detective. She was definitely a decent Velma. I hope she plays Velma again, because she was actually way better than Kate Michucci. And with everyone else, better than Mindy Kaling. Also, the Rangers cameos that Robo Rita captured was not only the Phantom Ranger from Turbo, but Javi and Nate from Beast Morphers. Oh, they were there too. I remember seeing the Galaxy Rangers in there, and of course, Tommy Oliver was on there because they needed to write out Jason David Frank because he was dead at the time. It was kind of funny seeing all those Ranger cameos, though. I was surprised Wes and Eric weren't in there in the action figure collection, especially because Wes and Eric are supposed to still be active Rangers. Like, what if your Uraraka actress played Velma or Daphne Blake for the Scooby-Doo anime? Yeah, I don't know who that is, Akira. I don't know any of your Japanese characters. Like, Turbo Granny is better than the witch from the Lake Monster. If they make a reboot Scooby series, they should make a slow, progressive relationship between Shaggy and Velma. Yeah, that could work. I'm not against Shaggy and Velma being a couple, though most of the iterations we either see they're really terrible for each other or just don't have those feelings. Or it's really rushed, like in Where Are You? Like it is weird, like the power of friendship. Yeah, it's weird. The power of love breaks Velma out of the witch's possession, but then we get the reveal they don't have feelings for each other and aren't in romantic love. I mean, friendship could have worked, but that's not the angle they go with, which is the problem. And want to see Zombie Island to cyber chase Velma? Alright, we'll do her next. Oh, I didn't know Maggie is an actress in Insidious Chapter 3. The Insidious franchise is one of my favorites, and it's become rent-free in my head. The Crooked Man. Also, Death Battle is doing Bakugo versus Rez next Sunday. Okay, looking forward to it. I thought JDF died after Once and Always. Well, it was dedicated to him. We see he's there next to Twee Trong's name. I thought he was busy with The Legend of the White Dragon. No, I think that was like at least 1 year prior. Uraraka English dub is Lucy Christian. Still don't know who that is. I heard you just insulted my yellow Power Rangers waifu. How dare you? Like, I love Trini. Trini is hot, okay? Trini is hotter than Kimberly. Yes, I said it. Come at me. Yellow Ranger has always been hotter than Pink Ranger in my eyes. But I love Twee Trong. I was just kind of confused over why we were dedicating to her death when it happened 2 decades ago. You better sleep with one eye open and have weapons, but like guns, cannons, tasers don't work on me, but you know, swords and axes. Yeah, I'll have my Quasar Saber ready for you. Yeah, I love Trini, okay? Trini is awesome. Alright, anyways, to wrap up, Haley's Velma is an ace detective. Do like her. Wish she'd come back to play her again, because she was honestly underrated. But for now, we'll put her onto A tier. Alright, next, we'll bump off another lesser Velma. Let's do Daphne and Velma, who is going on to be students. Yeah, I liked her better than the Scoob Velma, because she got to do a lot more. The Daphne and Velma movie, or is it Velma and Daphne, it's not good. The actresses are definitely trying. They capture the characters, but the writing is not at all engaging. The mystery is not all that intense, and it feels really weird that we're having a Scooby-Doo prequel without the entire mystery team. Yeah, her actress honestly does fine. Once again, Velma's kind of the smart, antisocial nerd until she and Daphne form an odd friendship, solve a mystery together, and save their prestigious school from a monster. Yeah, it's very basic, just running through the motions. It's, as Shadowlink said in our Daphne stream, it's a movie that exists. The Velma, I think, did okay. She captured the look and persona well, but not what I would call a top-tier Velma. I'm going to put her right smack in the middle on B student. She is adequate. Sarah Gilman. I was correct. JDF was offered to be in Once and Always, but turned it down. JDF said he had done enough with the franchise and wanted to focus on his film. Oh, that would have been nice, though, having him appear. Though, I think JDF deserves a higher end note than what he got on the Ninja Steel anniversary event. Sarah Gilman is Velma's actress. Okay, that's her name. Alright, didn't bother remembering because I didn't really care about her. Wasn't there a joke that Velma was viewed as someone who liked girls, yet a lesbian? I mean, was it because of the sweater? Velma has kind of been stereotyped as a lesbian. That was like a running gag among the Scooby fandom. I believe it was because she was a tomboy and her appearance in Where Are You did not look entirely feminine, mostly because there's a lot of butch lesbians who rock Velma's look. Yet usually, a lot of people either think Velma is gay or mistake Velma for a guy. You know, until she talks, revealing she has a female voice. But yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit I did think Velma was a boy first time I saw her until, they address her as she. She starts acting feminine and such. But yeah, that was kind of a stereotype Velma faced, and unfortunately some movies and Mindy Kaling tried to make it canon to varying degrees of success. Like why Velma disagreed with the supernatural and Daphne loved supernatural. Well, Velma was crushing on one of the Winchester brothers. JDF died after the special was filmed. Okay, I did see his name is there. They give a in memoriam to Tweet Trong and Jason David Frank. They do play a clip of Trini and Tommy hanging together at the end credits. I remember she played Delia, Delfano, and Jessie. Haven't watched Jessie in forever. Tomboy, she wore a skirt. Some people thought it was shorts, especially in the old animation style. Wasn't Audrey from Descendants also Daphne? I don't know. I don't watch The Descendants. I'm not into that stuff. I was kind of too old for that around the time it came out. I like the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. While The Mystery Begins is a mixed bag for me, I think the reason love broke the witch's spell is because love is a more powerful magic. To quote Lavertus. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty average Velma, going on to B student. Alright, let's get to a Velma you guys want to talk about. Let's do the 2010s movie Velma, who I will put her onto low ace detective. So, this Velma was voiced by both Mindy Kahn and in the later films, Kate Micucci, which is why she's not gone on to S tier. This is the Velma you see in movies like Abracadabra Do, Camp Scare, Moon Monster Madness, those types of movies. The Mystery Incorporated era of direct-to-video movies, and they kind of kept it a mystery if this was connected to the Mystery Incorporated show or its own thing. I do believe it's its own thing because it's separate on this tier list. And Mindy Kahn definitely won her points. This is a great Velma. She, once again, is kind of bringing her what's new Scooby-Doo energy to the role. And, of course, everybody loves that scene where we see the Scooby Gang in swimsuits at Camp Scare. Got to see our childhood heroes looking really good. Yeah, everybody loves the Daphne and Velma bathing suit scene. Though, Fred and Shaggy are also there for you girls. We see Fred's been working out, clearly. And, yeah, I do like this Velma. This Velma pretty much brings her A-game to the role. Mindy Kahn, as always, legendary. She's snarky, she's smart, she's a great detective, has a lot more friendship moments with the gang. We see Velma gets to bond with each and every character. They did bring a lot more out of the gang's friendships, and she has chemistry with Daphne, teaching her how to drive, is friends with Fred, they both respect each other's intelligence, and even she and Shaggy get along. She starts to realize Shaggy does have some method to his madness, and of course the gang loves Scooby-Doo. Yeah, this Velma, pretty great. It's pretty much an extension of Mystery Incorporated and What's New Velma. Unfortunately, she's not onto S tier because somewhere along the line, around the 2020s, Kate Micucci took over for her and basically kind of ruined her. I do not like Kate Micucci's Velma. I'm sorry, but I just don't. And she kind of costed her the S tier status for me. If Frank Welker retired from voicing Fred, who would voice him? I would say Troy Baker is my number one choice. I think Troy Baker could do a pretty good Fred. I think he would do an interesting Fred, even if Fred might sound a bit like Batman. Could a Velma anime design be like Momo Ayasa? I don't know who that is, Akira. It's a reference to The Legends of Chima, in case you didn't tell. I missed that. Oh, okay. I haven't... The Lego show with the Lego lion. Yeah, that was weird. I never got to see that one. Yes, James Loveland and Zoe in Lego Dreams. Audrey from Descendants was Daphne in the 5th live action. Oh, that was her. Okay. Yeah, that's why I don't recognize her. I've never watched The Descendants. I don't do DCOM movies. Yeah, I think Troy Baker would be an ideal replacement Fred, but I would also go with DC Douglas. He would be pretty funny as Fred. Alright, anyways, movie Velma, she's pretty alright. Great when she's Mindy Kahn, terrible when she's Kate Micucci. I'm gonna put her onto Ace Detective. You know, I might bump her above the Lego one at least. That's all you're getting, folks. Yeah, definitely an Ace Detective interpretation. Next, we'll bump off Robin Velma, who is actually going on to low Ace Detective. Scooby-Doo meets Batman the Brave and the Bold, and I decide to have Velma in her Robin cosplay, looking like Carrie Kelly because it's a reference. The Scooby Gang join Batman and the Justice League's Detective Agency Club. They're joining a Mystery Solvers unit in DC, and they meet Batman, Black Canary, Martian Manhunter, Detective Chimp, and Plastic Man, played by Uncle Howie himself, Tom Kenny. So, at one point, they're trying to solve a mystery, the Scooby Gang get framed for a crime they didn't commit, they and Batman are on the run from the law, Harvey Bullock makes his official Brave and the Bold debut here, they're hunting down Mystery Incorporated, but Batman gets ambushed by the Crimson Cloak and taken hostage, where the Scooby Gang show up to save the day, but need disguises, where they dress up as the Bat Family. Yep, we get to see Batman versions of the Mystery Inc. crew. Velma is Robin, looking a lot like Carrie Kelly from the Frank Miller era. Shaggy is Nightwing, Scooby is Ace the Bat Hound, Daphne is Barbara Gordon Batgirl. I think Fred wears an alternate bat suit. He looks like Adam West Batman. They all show up to save the day, and Velma hilariously kicks butt. They fight the Crimson Cloak, who is revealed to be Clayface. And it turns out Edward Nygma was behind all of this to try to kill Batman and the Justice League. It's a really crazy movie. Yeah, I'll put her on to Ace Detective. It was pretty funny seeing the Scooby Gang don the Bat Family outfits, and it's our first time ever seeing the whole Bat Family all together on screen for the first time. Carrie Kelly, I thought it was Stephanie Brown. Carrie Kelly is technically the first Robin. Stephanie Brown was also a girl Robin, but Velma is wearing the glasses, and they purposely designed her to resemble Carrie Kelly from The Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Returns is a really great story. Highly recommend it. But yeah, they were aiming for that Robin. Carrie Kelly is technically the first female Robin we ever got, even though The Dark Knight Returns is its own separate continuity. I know canon-wise Stephanie Brown is truly the first girl Robin, but it's very clear which character they wanted. It's a shame Daphne didn't get Batgirl outfit on the Daphne tier list. Well, Kira, we can fix that when the Go-Go Mystery Machine tune comes out. Shadow Ravencroft, my sister hates Gelatin ship name. Go-Go Mystery ship. Oh, you're talking about the Descendants, Jafar's son. I'm talking about the Velma anime clothes design. Yeah, I don't know who the character you're talking about is, though, Akira. That's also a problem. I love the Descendants. Of course you do, Shadow Ravencroft. I like China Anne McClain. She was Ursula's daughter. I only know of anything Descendants because I watch Bob Show's reviews of them. Highly recommend checking out Bob's Show, really hilarious YouTuber. He reviews everything Descendants related, and that's the only reason why I even heard of that franchise. Wait for Clayface tier list with the Crimson Cloak? Yeah, definitely. Clayface also makes his debut in The Brave and the Bold. Clayface is actually the villain, and he's trying to escape from his alternate dimension. No, the guy was trapped in an alternate dimension and he came back to haunt Batman as a ghost. Yeah, Clayface is a main villain in The Brave and the Bold Batman meets Scooby-Doo, and it's a pretty crazy movie. Highly recommend it. And yeah, Velma dressed up as Robin at one point, as you can see. I'll put her on Ace Detective. The one movie I actually liked Kate Micucci's Velma in. Alright, final four, let's do this. who should we bump off next? I know you all are screaming for Linda Cardellini, but I have to knock off BJ Ward Velma. From the core 4 direct-to-video movies, BJ Ward going on to Star Detective. Slightly under Mindy Kahn, but still very, very S-tier Velma. Alright, I've sung my high praises about these movies, but it is great. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, The Witch's Ghost, The Alien Invaders, and The Cyber Chase, all excellent, top-tier, perfect Scooby masterpieces, and BJ Ward, also an underrated Velma. BJ Ward plays Velma Dinkley. She voiced numerous characters on Scooby-Doo before. Most infamously, she played Shaggy's girlfriend Cookie from The Reluctant Werewolf. It's kind of funny that she kind of traded up into one of the real members of Mystery Incorporated. Though, I recognize BJ Ward as Scarlet from G.I. Joe. She kind of uses a variation of that voice for Miss Dinkley. But her Velma is excellent. Really love her. This is a dorky but lovable Velma. Velma's not like Mindy Kahn's Velma, where she's a lot more sassy and snarky. She has her roasting moments, her quips, but this is a very friendly go-getter girl Velma. Velma is a nerd, but very caring, very compassionate, and is not afraid to confront danger. She was keeping watch over Bo when they thought he was secretly the villain. Velma, we got to see an aggressive side to her. Velma takes mystery solving very seriously. As you know, Zombie Island, not The Return, Zombie Island was an anniversary movie that was supposed to end Scooby-Doo, but ended up being so good that it saved the franchise. The Scooby Gang all got jobs. You can see Velma's here working at Ray Stance's occult bookshop. Yeah, that is a funny Ghostbusters reference. She was working at Ray's bookshop from Ghostbusters 2. But yeah, she is working a boring job until Fred brings the gang all together and they help solve mysteries. Velma doesn't get too much character development unless you count Witch's Ghost, where she falls in love with Ben Ravencroft. Ben Ravencroft is this great horror novel writer, clearly based on Stephen King, but yeah, Velma is fangirling all over him, and this is the movie I believe she has her most character development in. Velma idolizes him, but realizes her hero is a fraud when he turns out to be the villain. Ben Ravencroft was using the Scooby Gang to find his dead relative's book. It's a witch's book, a manual on spells, and he betrays the Scooby Gang, summons Sarah Ravencroft, and tries to take over the world. Of course, and Velma kind of realizes that her hero is a fake. She overcomes the betrayal and stands up to him. I would consider this Velma's most character-driven movie out of the core 4. I know she's still there in the other 2, but this one she gets like the most focus on, and Velma actually helps Thorn master her witch powers, or her Wiccan powers, to defeat Sarah Ravencroft. Definitely a good Velma movie, I would say, but it's a great movie overall. Then she's the one who solves the mystery in Space Invaders. She realizes that the South government agents are actually the aliens. She uncovers the mystery, but that movie is more so about Shaggy and Scooby's tragic romance. Then Cyber Chase, all the gang kind of get equal screen time. They're trapped in cyberspace, they crack the mystery, and they defeat the evil baseball-loving Phantoms. Really great stuff. BJ Ward brings a very likability to this Velma. She's very charming. She may be a bookworm, but she also has a sense of adventure. That's something she says in Cyber Chase. If you know the movie, you know the quote. But yeah, Velma does have a sense of adventure, does actually like solving mysteries. Velma really loves being a detective in these movies, which won her a lot of points, because this is a Velma who's fully embraced Mystery Inc.'s role in this world. She's proud to be a detective, proud to be cracking crimes, proud to be putting bad guys in jail, even though Daphne kind of doesn't like it anymore at the start of Zombie Island. Velma is pretty much the optimistic friend, really like her. And how can we forget her favorite quote? "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up." Even back then, people were quoting it. Like Tim Curry is the villain. Well, yeah, Tim Curry was the bad guy? What a twist. Couldn't agree more. Thank you, Shadowlink. This Velma is epic. I really wish BJ Ward would continue voicing Velma. I think she's kind of retired now. She pops up every now and then in a few stuff. I know she was in regular show recently, but yeah, BJ Ward unfortunately didn't get to be Velma full time. She is Velma also in the specials. She was Velma in Bravo Doobie Doo, the Scooby Gang meets Johnny Bravo. Yeah, that was BJ Ward as Velma. I was kind of surprised. And, of course, if you saw my reviews, she's also Velma in Night of the Living Doo and the Scooby-Doo Project, and honestly, really made me appreciate her more. She got to be really funny in the Scooby-Doo Project. Velma is kind of being the uptight one, trying to get the Scooby Gang in on solving the Blair Witch case, is the one carrying the camera through most of it. Yeah, in the Scooby-Doo Project, apparently Velma is the camera woman. She's the one recording everyone and annoying them and trying to interview them. Do love that they make fun of her catchphrase. What does that even mean, Shaggy? Zoinks? Oh, I'm sorry, what will you prefer, Velma? Jinkies? And everyone's like laughing at her. What? What is everyone laughing at? Oh, Jinkies, we're royally zoinked. And they're all like poking fun at Velma. Jinkies is a real word. Like she has a bookstore. Yeah, that makes sense for Velma. She is an avid reader. Watch some episodes of The Descendants. Episodes? I thought they were only movies, and it's alright, but I like Cruella's son, cause, well, Cruella's one of my favorite Disney villains. Understandable, Snowstorm. Unfortunately, Carlos is dead because the actor is no longer among us. Yep, this Velma is a classic. And after her is the other Kate Micucci voice from Courage the Cowardly Dog special. Don't remind me. Like, is Velma like Bulma from Dragon Ball? Honestly, kind of. Just not obsessed with finding the perfect boyfriend. Yep, Tim Curry's the villain. BJ Ward is really great as Velma. I like her voice. She has like a really smooth, adorable, endearing, girly voice. Velma is a very proactive detective and hero in these movies. If you don't think Velma is that great a character, the core four will remind you how iconic the Scooby Gang are. I literally named myself after Ben Ravencroft. You did, Shadow. Okay, that's why you went with Ravencroft. He is a pretty awesome villain. This is evil's finest hour. Tim Curry was the best portrayal of the film. I do think Tress MacNeille was pretty good as Sarah Ravencroft. She definitely hammed it up to the max. Really liked her and Tim Curry trying to one-up each other. Also, I know everybody loves Jennifer Hale as Thorn, the Hex Girl. But that was because her songs are really awesome, and everybody walked away with some new Scooby-Doo waifus after that movie. Like Velma always feels like her life feels like her life that a hero and professor she believed becomes evil. Yeah, Velma felt betrayed because she kind of idolized Ben Ravencroft. It's implied she had a crush on him, which is why she's spending so much time with him, only for this guy to be, you know, the villain. Though Velma does kind of get over it, stands up to him, and helps save the day. I have an idea for a Scooby-Doo reboot. Mystery Inc. as Bounty Hunters. That could work, Tails. I could see it working. Guess when Velma reveals who Stephen King is, guest terms, never meet your heroes is always there. Also, Velma and Cyber Velma fight Iron Face. Yeah, that's true. We got to see two Velmas. That was kind of the appeal of Cyber Chase. The Scooby Gang, halfway through, meet their playable characters, and apparently they have their exact personalities programmed in. We get to see the Freds team up, the Velmas, the Daphnes, the Shaggies. Velma and her duplicate defeat old Iron Face, which is kind of funny. They accidentally knock old Iron Face into the hot wax. They lose their glasses. They befriend a goat. Pretty crazy stuff, but those are really great movies. They made a bunch of shorts called Descendants Wicked World. Oh yeah, that's right, they did. I only saw what Bob Show reviewed. I watched the Scooby-Doo and the Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover, and it's not only a love to me, but it was a bizarre to me. Oh, you liked it, Snowstorm. Okay, I honestly had mixed feelings about it. I love Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I was looking forward to this movie. It kind of disappointed me. I did not really care for it all that much. Didn't laugh at a lot of stuff, and they really had some weird moments, even by Courage standards. I do not like the Farmer's Rap song. It is the biggest biggest hints that John Dilworth did not come back to work on the movie anymore. Yeah, they kind of screwed Dilworth out of it. They stole his show and made it their own thing. Though, rest in peace, Thea White. Glad she got to voice Muriel one last time. It was more so a Courage story with the Mystery Inc. crew guest starring in it. And I did not need an explanation why weird things happen in nowhere, which the movie decided it wanted to tackle. Also, the farmer rap is still cringe. So Velma is Bulma and Daphne is Chi-Chi and Shaggy is Goku. No, wouldn't Fred be Goku because Chi-Chi's in love with Goku? What makes Fred as a Dragon Ball character? I think Fred would be Goku. Shaggy would definitely be Yamcha. Yeah, Shaggy would be Yamcha because he's the coward and weak one. I cannot believe they bastardized Thornton and Velma. Yeah, me too, Shadow Ravencroft. They bastardized all the Hex girls in Velma, but Thorn got it the worst. I make Hex Girls versus Hunter X Death Battle as a musical fight. Be pretty interesting. Don't remind me, she looks like Mara Wilson in the present day. Yeah, don't tell her I said that. Mara Wilson! Like I finally see Death Battle use Courage and Scooby. They kill Eustace together. Yep, that was classic. Alright, so to wrap up BJ Ward Velma, she is classic. Underrated Velma deserves a lot more praise and attention, and I wish BJ got to play her more, but we'll put her on to Star Detective. Alright, made it on the final, technically 2, but yeah, we got our final 3. Next, alright, we'll do Mystery Incorporated Velma, who is gonna upset some people, going on Ace Detective. I know, I can hear the sound of typing hate comments in the chat, so this is going to be a controversial take, but I think this Velma is good. Good, not S tier to me. Yeah, sorry, but Season 1 is where she lost points. So, at the start of the series, Velma is pretty much herself. She's a lot funnier. Velma is way more in your face, very snarky, very jaded, pretty much feels kind of superior in a few moments, but Velma is a terrible girlfriend to Shaggy. I did not like their romance. I know it's funny, it's comedic, but honestly, it kind of shows you why Velma and Shaggy don't work. Velma becomes a very toxic girlfriend. She's controlling, trying to change Shaggy, and trying to get Shaggy to choose between her or Scooby-Doo. Yeah, there's a love triangle, a really funny, weird one, but Shaggy is torn between dating Velma and his broship with Scooby-Doo. And Velma just looks really terrible for this, trying to force Shaggy to drift apart from Scooby-Doo, be with her more, and honestly kind of shows you why she's a bad girlfriend, constantly trying to change Shaggy. She hurts him every time he says zoinks, gives him that rubber band bracelet, tries to make him change pants, fit her ideal criteria for a boyfriend. Not a very good look for this Velma, but the key scene that really made me hate her was Shaggy finally decides he doesn't want to date Velma, he wants to be just friends with her. And Velma completely snaps. She throws a fit, has a big emotional breakdown, and cries, having Daphne and Fred comfort her. And Shaggy kind of looks like a dick for doing this, but yeah, he chose Scooby-Doo. He's his bro, he's his friend, and he doesn't want to sever ties with him, and feels like he's leading Velma on that they're not a good match for each other. And Velma kind of proves why she's a very terrible girlfriend all throughout that first season. Yeah, it really hurt. I did not like seeing Velma in this light for the longest time. Out of all the Scooby-Doo characters, it felt like Velma really got mean-spirited. She pretty much embraced her Daria side, still more likable than Mindy Kaling, of course, but that's because she improved as the show went on. As it went on, Velma did become nicer, got over the breakup, becomes quote-unquote friends with Hot Dog Water. Yeah, this is kind of Velma's coming out story. Velma finds a new love, she makes amends with Shaggy, and even Scooby-Doo. At one point, Scooby-Doo's about to be killed, but Velma chooses to save his life. Velma overcomes a lot of her insecurities, her flaws, and Season 2 gives her a lot a lot better character. Velma basically gets a big redemption arc come season 2, overcomes a lot of her problems, makes peace with her friends, becomes honestly a team player, and even saves her relationship with her mom. Velma does not get along with her mom for the most part, but finds out that she and mom have a lot more in common than she thought. Velma gets over her insecurities, becomes much nicer, and has a crisis of faith when real supernatural stuff is happening near the end of the series, realizing that logic, facts, and science can't explain everything. Velma's like freaking out because she doesn't know the answers. Up until the Scooby Gang come together, they defeat the evil Nibiru entity. Yeah, I finally remembered its name. They fight the Nibiru entity, save the world, and retcon everything to a happy life before they team up with Harlan Ellison. They do at least scrap this near the end of season 1 and onwards. Yeah, I am very glad they did. Alright, so that's kind of why she's not an S tier. They did bring Mindy Khan comes back, and that definitely won her points. They brought pretty much everyone from What's New Scooby-Doo back, and Mindy Khan is great. She has a natural Velma voice. She's a definitive voice. Unfortunately, the take on this character was what kind of irked me. Yeah, there are a lot of great Velma moments. She has really good snappy one-liners and sassy comebacks. Like the design, too. I like the little red bows they put in her hair. Definitely made her stand out amongst Velmas. But Velma is kind of cynical, mean-spirited, a terrible girlfriend, and honestly the biggest jerk of the Scooby Gang at the start. She does improve, she does get better, but rewatching some of these episodes is still kind of painful. How dare you do not place Mystery Incorporated Velma into S tier. Kate is not a good voice. I agree, she sucks. Scooby-Doo and Mystery Incorporated Velma sucks. Oh, you don't like her, James. You don't like her too? Alright. I don't like her at the start of the show. She gets better. She improves, I admit that. I liked her more as it went along. Unfortunately, Season 1 almost made Velma the worst member of the gang. She's very, very antisocial. She starts coming around. She has her friendship with Angel Dynamite, finding out she's really Cassidy Williams, one of the OG Mystery Incorporated members. Has a bond with her. They break apart, then they become friends again in Season 2, just in time for Angel to die. Then she kind of reevaluates her life, realizes that she did kind of take her friends for granted, took her mom for granted, and finds new love with hot dog water. Velma also has badass moments where she's a spy for Mr. E. Really interesting stuff with this Velma. Like, it is finally Velma Mystery Incorporated is cool, like she met a mermaid. Yeah, she met Nina from Creature Commandos, but it was a swimmer wearing a mersuit. Yeah, that always kind of confused me. Why did she pretend to be a mythical creature when she could have asked her for help as a normal human? It was weird, but pretty funny seeing a prototype to the Creature Commandos girl. They did scrap this near the end of Season 1. I did not like Velma and Shaggy together in this show. Honestly, it was kind of the worst relationship they had until Mindy Kaling's show. This Velma is also not very nice to Scooby. Yeah, that's kind of why she's not on S tier. She was also mean to Scooby-Doo, treating him like the dumb dog, not being his friend, and honestly kind of unfairly blaming Scooby-Doo for her bad love life, her relationship drama. She projected a lot of hatred onto Scooby for the first half of the season. She does come around to liking the dog, but it's a slow process. And Velma talks to Daphne about boys, and we get that line of the smart boy and the dumb boy logic. Like her mother is cool, but feels like Granny Seiko met her. Like Linda Velma's actress played hot dog water. Yeah, they got Linda Cardellini on the show. I was kind of surprised she didn't come back as Velma. They got Matthew Lillard back as Shaggy, but no, Cardellini is there as, ironically, Velma's best friend turned love interest. Velma becomes I guess bisexual in the new timeline. The creative staff did confirm she and Marcy are actually dating, and Marcy implies that, yeah, they've been together for a long time. Velma basically found happiness with a woman, and they become a lesbian couple. Which is kind of awkward now because Velma's leaving the state to go across country to meet Harlan Ellison now, without telling her girlfriend, but yeah. Very terrible relationship once again. Can you use Pendulum by Machina Supremacy for a future review? Gotta fit the episode, Akira. Depends what the song is about. Gotta see if it fits what the plot of a horror review I'm having. I heard some fans found this Velma hotter than the other Velma, mostly because of her bows on her head. Yeah, it makes her look pretty, but I think What's New Scooby-Doo Velma way hotter. Plus, she was actually a legal adult, whereas this Velma is a high school senior. Yeah, I know she scuffs the cuff of legal, but I would not do her. I should resume writing my more mature Scooby fanfic. You should review Scooby-Doo Meets the Addams Family, Shadow. Still waiting. So do you see you and Wolf as Dante and Virgil? Some people have told me that. Some people say I fit Virgil while Wolf fits Dante, or vice versa, that I'm more Dante and Wolf's Virgil. Next is Wendy. Wendy. Yep, getting to her. Like, ew, I prefer Wyatt is better. Wyatt was at least more healthier. He treated Velma like a person. He was a bit too obsessive and clingy, but he's okay with being just friends. Way better reaction than Shaggy. She's good, but not S tier for me, but I mostly agree that she does develop through Season 2. Yeah, Season 2 redeems this Velma greatly. She had her moments in Season 1, but this Velma starts out very crabby. Here is the lyrics. My soul endeavors to silence your mind a little. You're not alone. Like it feels peak. Okay, I might have to do that for a Twilight Zone review. Alright, to wrap up, Mindy Kahn's Velma is still great, but her interpretation of Mystery Incorporated left a lot to be desired. I will still put her on top A tier. Mystery Incorporated is a great show, and Velma did eventually pull through. I'm not against Velma getting character development, but she just started out a bit too mean for my liking. I'll put her on to Ace Detective. Still good, but not one of my S tiers. But we'll end this on a high note with Linda Cardellini. Alright guys, I gotta go get more water, but tell me what you feel about the James Gunn Velma right now. I'll be right back. Alright, gang, let's get jinky with it. Linda Cardellini going on to S tier, and yep, she's my number one. Sorry, Mindy, I'm putting them up top, and because I know you all love this Velma suit, we'll put her on number one too. Alright, Linda Cardellini, easily my favorite Velma. Love her portrayal, love the writing they did for this incarnation of Miss Dinkley, and they actually made Velma one of the most fun characters of the gang. So, Velma is reinterpreted as kind of a knockoff Daria in these movies. This is the new persona that became Velma's defining persona for the rest of this franchise. Velma is a lot more cynical, snarky, and very much an antisocial nerd girl in these movies. But Linda Cardellini is a very beautiful woman, and some would argue much hotter than Daphne. I mean, look at this outfit. But yeah, Linda Cardellini, great. Love her Velma. She brings so much life and persona to, ironically, the one character people thought was the boring member of Mystery Incorporated. Her Velma is funny, charming, looks like the character, acts like the character, and actually had some interesting character development in both of Scooby-Doo and Monsters Unleashed. James Gunn Velma, easily the hottest version of the character. Absolutely agree, Blue Thunder. Linda Cardellini is so beautiful. Which is why I'm kind of shocked she's going to be playing Mrs. Voorhees in a Jason prequel. But yeah, she is definitely very hot. Enough said. Definitely S tier, S tier, Devil May Cry, triple S tier. Like, this is fine. I've been developing my TCG, but once it is done, I will resume working on it. Okay, thank you, Shadow. Trying to find out what to do, because I don't want to break it down scene by scene like I've been doing. You should have a lot of jokes about Jenna Ortega in there, because Wednesday is a pivotal part of the plot. My sole endeavor to silence your mind a little. You're not alone. It's like it feels peak. I get it, Akira. You like the song. Yep, Linda Cardellini is awesome. Next time, Kat, can you mute your mic? Making sure. Alright, looks like everything's working. James Gunn, yep, easily the hottest. Like, how did Velma become Wendy? Yeah, if you don't know, Linda Cardellini plays Wendy from Gravity Falls, Dipper's Crush, and the Badass Tomboy. And she's also CJ from a regular show. Yeah, I remember CJ from regular show, Cloudy Jane, the better love interest than Margaret, but that's for a different tier list. I really like this Velma. She is awesome. She is funny. She's very endearing, and they actually make her look like the character. Linda Cardellini wears the heavy sweater, among other outfits, as you can see here. In Scooby-Doo 1, Scooby-Doo's gang breaks apart. Mystery Incorporated has a falling out. They all go their separate ways. Velma becomes a scientist, I believe. She's working with NASA because Velma is one of the smartest women of cartoons. Velma became a genius. However, she returns when they're united for a grand mystery on Spooky Island. And Velma has a love interest. The guy is alright. Kind of a guy of the week type of romance. Seth Green was much better in Monsters Unleashed. But yeah, Velma kind of defrosts. She's a cold ice queen. She becomes nicer. She makes amends with Fred, Daphne, Shaggy. They all unite to save Scooby-Doo, defeat the evil Scrappy-Doo and his demons from hell. And Velma basically kind of becomes nicer and gets credit where credit's due. Fred is kind of out of character in this movie. Fred is kind of a big douche bro. He's mean, always taking credit, egotistical, until the end where he learns to respect his teammates, and Velma finally gets her credit and her own nickname, Velmster. Pretty funny stuff, but yeah. Velma becomes a part of the team, Fred gives her credit, and Velma's the one who explains the mystery, making her kind of fulfilled. She and the gang become friends all together again. Scooby-Doo 2 definitely gave her a lot more profound character development. Velma falls in love with a museum curator named Patrick, played by Scott Evil himself, Seth Green. Yeah, Seth Green is in Scooby-Doo 2, and it's pretty funny seeing him. I thought I recognized him, found out it's the werewolf from Buffy. But yeah, Seth Green dates Velma. They fall in love. Velma is kind of shy, she's nervous, she's a wallflower, she's never been on a real date before, and Daphne tries to help her out. Daphne loans her this sexy jumpsuit outfit. Get to see how hot Linda Cardellini is. It's pretty funny. Who's your mommy? My mommy? Seth Green is like so confused. Velma is trying to impress Patrick, trying to be a cool girl, being a glamorous kick-ass detective. The Scooby Gang are kind of huge heroes in Scooby-Doo 2. They get discredited when they fail to stop the pterodactyl ghost. There's rampaging real monsters based on their costumes. Velma has a will they won't they story with Patrick. Velma is suffering insecurity issues, and it does cross paths with Shaggy and Scooby's plot in Monsters Unleashed. Shaggy and Scooby are also undergoing insecurity issues. That's kind of the basis of what I can say about all the Mystery Inc. members. They all have their insecurities and are questioning their place in life, going through kind of an existential crisis. Like, Fred feels weak, Daphne feels useless, Velma feels like she's not cool or useful, and Shaggy and Scooby realize that they're screw-ups and want to actually be heroes saving the day for the first time. Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby's paths kind of collide, and Velma actually gives this really sweet, wholesome speech about how she's always valued Shaggy and Scooby as great heroes and teammates, and it is very sweet. It is a nice, touching, wholesome moment, especially for a James Gunn movie. But yeah, they realize that they're better than they think they are, and the gang all come together playing ultimate frisbee and freezing the tar monster to death. They fight, and Scooby-Doo saves the day. Velma finally talks to Patrick, has a real heart-to-heart with him, tells him that she's not really this girl who's too cool for school, not this glamorous detective, not this epic titan of a hero. She's just a dorky nerd girl who loves her job. And Seth Green has the wisest moment where he's still into her, because yeah, it's when you look like Linda Cardellini, who wouldn't be into you? Yeah, Patrick and Velma get together, I guess until Scooby-Doo 3, if they ever made a third one, and they all have that dance at the bad guy bar with Stutter. But yeah, this Velma, really awesome. I love Linda Cardellini's design. I love her acting. I do love this orange jumpsuit outfit, but so does every man. But yeah, her Velma, really good, really deep and profound, has a lot of funny moments, and definitely felt like the character came alive through her. She was definitely one of the greatest castings for this character. Yeah, Cardellini's Velma, Matthew Lillard's Shaggy, who we'll get to eventually, Sarah Michelle Gellar's Daphne. The one that didn't impress me at first was Freddie Prinze Jr.'s Fred. I did not like him in the first movie. Movie 2, he definitely improved, but we'll get to that when we get to Fred's tier list. But yeah, Cardellini is my #1 favorite Velma. I really like her portrayal of the character, and she kind of laid the groundwork for how Velma would be interpreted in later Scooby-Doo stories. This is definitely my definitive Velma, and I'm making her a star detective. I have memories of watching Scooby-Doo 2000s on VHS. Yeah, VHS, the VH best. Elizabeth Bates and Creature Commandos. Oh, she was in that. I know Cardellini was also the otter on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Try to remember her name. Yeah, you all know Rocket's love interest, the otter who falls in love with him and dies. Yeah, spoilers, but yeah, we all know she died if you played the Telltale game. Wasn't Laura Barton revealed to be Agent Mockingbird in Hawkeye? Yeah, she was, but she's not Mockingbird in the MCU. Lila, that's her name. Thank you, Akira. Lila from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Not the video game, the movie. Gravity Falls is awesome. It certainly is, James. I've gotten requests to talk about it, but not sure if I will because, well, everyone's talked about it and everyone knows Gravity Falls is great. Simple. Like, how did Velma become Wendy? She became a voice actress. Linda Cardellini sadly didn't get too many movie roles. She became a voice actor. I do see her from time to time in live action stuff, but Cardellini kind of found her niche doing voice acting roles. She played Wendy in Gravity Falls. She voices Lila in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I know she's CJ from Regular Show. I recognized her voice instantly. And she also guest starred as Hot Dog Water because Mystery Incorporated was a love letter to everything Scooby-Doo. Yep, agree with you, Blue Thunder. She is really hot. Design-wise and character-wise, she's one of the definitive versions of Velma. Absolutely, I fully agree with that. Yeah, I'm a bit skeptical about the Jason prequel show, honestly. I understand Shadowlink. What did kind of win me over is apparently the guy who worked on the Hannibal series is working on the Jason series. Yeah, I'm blanking out on his name, but Brian Fuller. Yeah, Brian Fuller, the creative director behind Mads Mikkelsen's Hannibal, is working on this Jason prequel, and Linda Cardellini is playing Mrs. Voorhees in it. It honestly has piqued my interest. I think I might watch it because I have faith in Brian Fuller as a creator. He made a lot of good stuff. He made Hannibal show. He worked on Star Trek Voyager, Deep Space Nine, I think a few episodes of Enterprise. But yeah, he kind of gave me faith that it might be good. Unfortunately, Brian Fuller did also work on Star Trek Discovery, but that was only the first season. She was also Laura Barton in Avengers Age of Ultron. Oh, that was her. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know Linda Cardellini was in Age of Ultron. Wasn't Laura Barton. Yeah, she was supposed to be Mockingbird. Unfortunately, we never got to see Linda rock Mockingbird's hot outfit. But yeah, she was a retired agent in the MCU. Ollie Warner. Yep, she's in the 2000s Twilight Zone. The Path. I got in your request to talk about that, Akira. The Path is a terrible remake episode of What You Need. Just watch What You Need in that episode back to back and you'll realize why. She was Elizabeth Bates in Creature Commandos. So we need to review The Path, where you say that Velma is now in the Twilight Zone. Yeah, but unfortunately that's also the episode where Method Man is a psychic, and seeing Method Man in horror makes me have terrible flashbacks to Seed of Chucky. Yeah, Method Man was in the 2000s Twilight Zone. That show, And she was Cordelia Starling in Lollipop Chainsaw. Kick-ass game. And we done with the girls of the team. Now the boys next time. Yep, got Fred, Shaggy, and Scoob. That moment in the second movie is a great unintentional Shaggy times Velma moment. Oh, you like the moment where Velma and Shaggy are having a heart-to-heart speech there, huh? Though it's kind of weird because Velma still has a love interest, Blue Thunder. She's dating Seth Green. You know, until Scooby-Doo 3, if it ever happened. Like, save the Scooby-Doo tier list for last, or wait for Go Go Mystery Machine. I heard it's premiering soon, so might wait on doing Scooby for that. Like, also, Linda was in the Twilight Zone. Yeah, I saw your comments, I remember. Yeah, been a while since you talked about any 2000s Twilight Zone episodes. Still have some hidden gems to go through, but also some pretty bad ones, too. Yeah, the episode Sunrise got a lot of requests, and I really do not have fond memories of that episode. That's with the end of the world Aztec ritual, and Michael Pena is in the Twilight Zone in that episode. Causing a paradox because she's also Hawkeye's wife. Yeah, that's kind of weird, but, you know, she's voice acting as Lila, so it doesn't count. Yeah, she was Linda in the Twilight Zone. Scooby-Doo will be saving for last on these tier lists, but to wrap up, Linda Cardellini, epic Velma. She is my definitive Velma. Sorry, Mindy Kahn, BJ Ward, classic Velma. She's the one who does it for me. Really like this character, like her portrayal, like Linda Cardellini's acting, and she was so good that she still plays Velma on Robot Chicken. Definitely number one, she is a star detective. But we did it! We completed the Velma tier list. Survived the good, the bad, and the Mindy Kaling. Yep, we did them all. All the mainstream Velmas are on here. Dead last, unsurprisingly, Mindy, because was there really any doubt? You all pretty much called this. You don't have to be as smart as Velma to realize she was the worst one. Number one, actually going to Linda Cardellini. Really like her. Really like this portrayal, as I just babbled about. But yeah, she's my number one Velma. So we'll go over this tier list one last time for any of you late birds, or for those of you who skip click all the way to the end to see the ranking in full. Recap, please. Everything. We will, James. We will. Just catch up on comments. And it's done. Bye. Bye, Akira. Like to hope we get a Jigoku Sensei Nube tier list for a Wolf only tier list or a duo. We'll see. Wolf will probably do it, but yeah, that's still got time a ways. Alright, we'll recap. Rock bottom is Mindy Kaling. She is number one in Mindy failing because, as we went over, this is the worst interpretation of Velma ever. Terrible character, terrible design, terrible show, terrible personality. She is just plain terrible. Easily worst Velma of all time. Then we have Be Cool Scooby-Doo Velma. I do not like Kate Michucci. This is her first portrayal of the character, which is why she's on F tier. Be Cool Scooby-Doo is not my favorite Scooby-Doo show. I did not get into it, and her voice for the character really irritated me. She is sharing F tier with Mindy. They are both Mindy failing. Then in Dud Dinkley, we have Guess Who Scooby-Doo Velma, and technically Kate Michucci's other movie appearances. Not a fan of Kate's Velma. Her voice doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. I just hear Dr. Fox and Sadie and Webby because Kate only has one default set for her voice acting. Do not like her. But next to her is Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue Velma, who did nothing. Yeah, that's really it. Both of them are dud Dinkleys. Do not care for them. Easily weak Velmas, but at least they're not Mindy Kaling. The two I don't recognize, Muppet Velma, never saw the special. I want to, but I never had the time to see it. Still haven't seen it, so she's going on here. And Comic Velma, I've never read a Scooby-Doo comic in my 9 lives, so I do not recognize these two. They're just basically on the unknown slot. They're Velma who. B Student, our average Velmas. Scoob Velma, who was there, did nothing because Shaggy and Scooby were the main stars. Then we have Velma and Daphne Velma, who was okay. She was adequate. Unfortunately, she was a part of a terrible movie, which is why I don't really remember her all that much. Going on to B Student. Then, who are our ace detectives at the good Velmas? Scooby-Doo meets Batman Brave and the Bold Velma. She's Robin Velma, which is pretty funny. The most tolerable Kate Michucci Velma. Then we have Lego Velma, because Legos are awesome. We have the 2010s movies Velma, who is actually pretty good because she was Mindy Kahn through most of it. Definitely interesting, really liked her. Everybody loves that scene in Camp Scare. She is an ace detective. Haley Kiyoko Velma from The Mystery Begins and Curse of the Lake Monster. Honestly, I really liked her portrayal. Wish she got to be Velma a lot longer and in more stuff, but honestly, I'll give her honorable mention. She is an ace detective. And up top of A tier is Mystery Incorporated Velma. I didn't like her at first, grew to like her as the show went on. This was a Velma who got much improvement. Mindy Kahn is still awesome and a definitive Velma voice, but I'm putting this interpretation onto A tier. But still, top of A tier. Then finally, Star Detective. Who are our top 5 Velmas? A pup named Scooby-Doo Velma. She's adorable, she's sweet, and easily the smartest member of her team. Yeah, of course I like her. Classic Velma. She's a classic. All the original Scooby-Doo counterparts are totally classic legends. Still like them. Didn't win #1 because I did not like her last voice actress from that era, but yeah, she's still legendary. BJ Ward Velma, underrated, loved her in the Core 4 Scooby movies, and of course, the Scooby-Doo Project and Night of the Living Do. BJ Ward is great, gave Velma a lot of personality and charm, easily one of my favorites. Mindy Kahn's Greater Velma, What's New Scooby-Doo Velma. Really like this character. She's funny, she's witty, she's charming, and has a lot of great episodes. Special mention going to the Giant Killer Clown episode. She is a classic in my eyes, definitely going on Star Detective. And #1, technically shared by 2. This is Linda Cardellini's Velma. We just went over her. She is great. She is fantastic. She's my definitive Velma. She easily stole first place with her great act. This is one of the funnest depictions of the character ever. She is my Star Detective. So got that wolf pack. Linda Cardellini's #1, and dead last is Mindy Failing. Check it out, see our ranking in full, trying to get it all together here. Yeah, completes our Velma tier list, so thank you all for watching. Now, here are your few teases for those of you who waited patiently. Next tier list, most likely another Scooby-Doo member. We have Fred, Shaggy. Scooby-Doo will be doing last. I think it's appropriate we save the icon for the last tier list. Definitely might be going with Shaggy next, because I know you all want to talk about him, but we also have Fred. Shaggy or Fred are likely next, though. I do have other tier lists in the works. I do have a Power Ranger tier list I'm thinking about doing. I got Wolf to finally watch The Amazing Digital Circus, so gonna have to do an updated character tier list on that soon, and maybe an episode tier list, but gotta wait for that finale. But also, April coming up, I do want to do a tier list on the Joker. Yeah, we're finally going to do a tier list on all the interpretations so far of the Clown Prince of Crime. Joker tier list is definitely one I'm dead set on. I have it saved on my file right now. Thinking about really doing that one because I know you guys all want to see it, and we can finally talk about some Jokers we haven't chit-chat about yet. But yeah, those are all the tier lists in the making. Another Scooby-Doo one, a Power Rangers one, or a Joker one. We'll see what we land on next time. As for videos, I recently released The Grave Robber, finally released my Tales from the Dark Side video. I do have videos on Patreon right now. Have some surprises coming your way. They're going to be released on special dates. Currently editing a special top 10. I hope you guys like this one. It's a huge surprise I want to give you soon. Aiming to release it on Easter, but we'll see if I finish it on time. But yeah, that's currently what I'm editing right now. Got another fun top 10 in the works for you, along with some surprises for Patreon. Yeah, check out our Patreon if you haven't. It helps fund the channel, and I got some videos you might be interested in seeing on there. Finally, June 19th, so sometime after that. Yeah, I'm gonna see you in the summer for Amazing Digital Circus. Can't wait to see how the digital circus all ends. See ya, cat. Bye, James. Wait, you forgot Scooby Natural Velma? That's Kate Machuchi's Velma. She technically is Velma Classic, already an S tier. Let's see how Stu Mocker works as Shaggy. Got a lot of fun Scream quotes coming for that tier list. And it's done. Bye, Tails. Jinkies, this was a heck of a list. Definitely was. Don't think he saw it. Oh, saw I talk about Shaggy, aka Stu Mocker. Jared Leto gets his own tier list so low you can barely see it. Looking forward to that one. But yeah, those are what our plans are for the future. So thank you all for watching, and as your reward, I'll finally release you. Velma is awesome, and as you can see, got a lot more good than bad Miss Dinkleys. So thank you all for joining us. Let's wrap up, and you guys can go free to enjoy your dinners, your days, or your video games, or watch more content here on Wolf Entertainment. Either way, your choice. Alright, let's wrap up. Watch Scooby-Doo, take a few notes, it was fun. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or just tune in for more videos posted here on Wolf Entertainment. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.